yeah.
Good synergy. Good synergy.
Oh my god. Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Indie Book Club here at VGU.TV. My name is Graydon Webb, and I am joined today for a little fireside chat with my man, Emmett Watkins Jr.
What's crack-a-lackin', homeboy? I'm ready to get timey-wimey up in this piece.
Indeed, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Indeed.
And I'm flipping the script because I'm hosting this bitch. You're on my ship today.
I know. I'm sitting back. I look my no hands.
It's been a while since we did an indie book club. We are currently in the midst of recording one, and I don't know if I put it anywhere. Like we have the blue sky, and I don't think I said, hey, we're changing to a game. But if you're hearing this now, which you are within a week of recording it, start playing Bastion, because we're halfway through the game and we're banking episodes, and though I guess that's not how it works. Yeah, I encourage people to play along with it. Go and find Bastion, buy it. It's probably cheap. And,
yeah, there's a Steam sale going on right now. It's definitely cheap by the time you're hearing this.
Oh, it's definitely there. And yeah, so we'll be playing that soon. But today, I played this. When is my thing for? Oh, I thought it would have the date, but I definitely played this last year at some point because we talked about it in Game of the Year. And Emmett has played it this past month. I think you kind of crammed it all into a month.
Like 2 weeks ago. Actually, no, I started it around. No, I started this way earlier than that. I'm gonna look at my time, but I definitely started it a little bit ago. Maybe it took me a couple months, but around the time you beat it is when I started it, and you beat it somewhere early this year.
Okay, yeah. I definitely, I don't know exactly when, but I'm glad that you have finally beaten it. The game in question being Deck 9 and Square Enix's polarizing magnum opus, double Life is Strange double exposure. Now, interesting, timely enough, speaking of time, Don't Nod today, I guess, was hit with a bunch of layoffs. I didn't look into it, but Allan wrote to us that there were a lot. And I mean, this is the first time, I think, that not Don't Nod had the Life is Strange prop IP. Is that correct?
Don't Nod. Yeah, this is the first. Actually, no. What was it?
True
Deck
Colors.
9 also did True Colors. Yes.
Okay.
Also, side note, I think the ones who had the layoffs were not Don't Nod. It was the. Oh wait, no. It was Don't Nod that had the layoffs. I thought you said Deck 9 had the layoffs. Never mind.
Yes. Yeah. No. I tripped us up, but yeah. Don't Nod has been off doing their own things since giving up Life is Strange. They recently did Lost Records Bloom and Rage, which was, I thought, excellent. I can't wait to talk about that for Game of the Year stuff. But very sad, because Don't Nod's definitely one of my favorite developers. I've loved everything that they've done, and it began all those years ago with Life is Strange. And now we have we had Deck 9 making True Colors. They've now made Double Exposure. And Double Exposure was big for bringing back the original protagonist, Max Caulfield, and continuing the story, so to speak, of the original. And I say polarizing because it has not been met well with by the internet. Life is Strange has a massive fan base, very devoted to its games, its spin-offs, its comic book series. I mean, it's a huge property now, probably very lucrative for Square Enix, but I've never really looked into that. And
Enough for them to do what they did at the end of this game.
yeah, yeah, they're Avengers type.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. I don't know when we want to do the spoiler tag, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, kick it off. I mean, I was just gonna kind of go and read synopses. We'll talk about the choices we made. I mean, full spoilers for all of this. If you haven't played Double Exposure, we're gonna get into the nitty gritty. And yeah, I guess I will just begin with the episode 1 synopsis, if you're cool with that.
Let's crack it open.
All right. So, episode 1 begins. College friends Max Caulfield and Safi, I forget her last name, but they break into an abandoned bowling alley on the hunt for the perfect series of lonely photographs. After finding what they need, they convene at the local tavern where Max spills the beans on who the blue-haired girl in her wallet is. In an effort to get over Chloe, Max flirts with the bartender, Amanda, and scores a date. Max's friend Miles joins her and Safi, and the three head out on the roof to watch a meteor shower. While the night starts hopeful for the gang, it is clear Safi is keeping a secret from the group. Now, I will stop there, and I'll just kind of ask you initial thoughts on this new cast of characters, and your thoughts on the Chloe reveal, I guess.
The Chloe reveal was interesting. I'll say I was very look, Life is Strange is strangely impactful to me. One of my favorite games of all time. It's like in my top 100 list, it's like 11 or 12. It's like right there on
Oh
the edge.
wow!
So yeah, very high up there for me. Having Chloe come up in the way that she comes up, at first, having it come up that way in the first episode, I'm like, all right, that's fine, and because that's still something they can build out more, they can flesh it out more. It doesn't get deeper than that, turns out, in future episodes. So that ends up being a slight, maybe not a bust, but a missed opportunity. But overall, the cast I really, really like. By the time I got around to it, you had already told me up and down about Gwen Hunter, and so I was already predisposed to like Gwen. So excited to see her. I did not know Diamond existed. I got really excited seeing her, and they got her hair right,
Yes.
and so I was so excited. And so that part got me excited. I liked the vibes of Amanda, though I didn't know much about her, but I was like, oh, we're already scoring dates. Fucking let's go. And it was also Safi I liked as well, though I did feel she was a little bit, I'm sarcastic to keep a barrier in between me and everybody else. So I caught that early. For what was it? Moses. Moses was just tripping me up because man, are you aware of who Moises Tavares is?
Uh, no, I'm aware of Moises Arias, who was
Okay.
Rico in Hannah Montana.
Okay, not him at all. Moses Tavares is a young man. He is a freelance games journalist. I think I'm not sure what site he most often writes for, but I know him because he was on OK Beast back when Blessing was doing that before Kind of Funny. Um, and Moses is so similar to Moises, it's scary.
Ah.
Like similar look, similar like just disposition, similar attitude, similar personalities, just the way they talk. Everything about them is like very similar. And the way everyone else feels about them is similar to how everyone feels about Moses in this game. It's very like uncanny to the point where he wrote an article around the time this game came out was like, hey, this guy's really similar to me and it's weird.
That's really weird.
Yeah, very strange. So that was my main point there. And yeah, I dug a lot of the cast. Some of them were a little bit like cringy, but not in a way where this character is like poorly written or anything, but in the way that I wrote about it on Blue Sky at some point where I was like, oh man, I've never, as a straight man, I just got the ick from a straight man for the first time. So I had moments like that, but I think that was intentional.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it did a fairly good job of setting up all of them, fleshing them out in a good way. And I think so. I still haven't watched any of the videos of people hating on the game. I know that you see posts here and there of people being like, I'm not gonna play it at all, or I couldn't finish it, and they destroyed my, like, I mean, the original game did an incredible job for um like, just people like finding themselves. It's a very coming of age story. There's a lot of touching on like sexual orientation and things like that. And so the big choice at the end of going off with Chloe or destroying Arcadia Bay. Sorry for spoiling Life is Strange, but you really should have
Fuck, I
played
was gonna play it tomorrow.
um like, that was something that people were kind of promised would return, and like, really, it was going to give you the option no matter what you chose. And regarding the Chloe situation, I don't think it did it terribly. Like you say, they don't really touch on it a lot. There are bits and pieces throughout the game. You find like newspapers, you look at your texts. There are just things that kind of pop up that, I mean, if Arcadia Bay still survives, you're kind of in touch with Chloe's family and the characters there. You see on that whole
Yes.
social media that exists. And if Chloe still exists, you unfortunately couldn't make it work with her. They put that into your story, and I know that people are upset about that. But I mean, of course, behind the scenes, things happen with voice actors and what you want to do with the writing. And like, I think that they did a good job of not saying, "Hey, screw you for liking the old games. We're going to do our own thing." But they also just set up everybody in a way that you can kind of be like, all right, I'll shut off that section of my brain and I'll start something new. And I think it did a good job of giving a fresh start to the idea of Max. But again, that's just me. And
I can
yeah.
I can I can hold hands with you on that. I do think they did a good job of up until the very end of the game. I think they did a good job of saying, "Hey, yes, Max is back. We're bringing her back. We're going to respect a lot of if not the choices, we're going to respect the themes of the original game. We're going to respect the person she was and carry forward a lot of that personality to now, even though she's quite a bit more grown up. And I like the ways in which they age up her personality. And we're going to do a new thing, but we're going to definitely please fans of the original games on the way there." It's just at that very end well, I guess we could talk about now the whole extended universe that they're teasing at the very end.
Mhm.
It's not necessarily that I'm mad about them going in that direction. Well, when the fact that they reveal that there's two people who have powers in this game
Yes.
that are directly interacting, which we'll talk about later. I'm not mad at that fact. I think that's actually a really good idea because True Colors already infers that, hey, multiple people have powers in this world, so it's not crazy for two of them to interact and meet. It gets crazy when it becomes, you want answers? I can tell you what's going on. It's like, all right, this is literally just some MCU shit. And it's like, okay.
Join me. Join me, young one.
Yeah.
I will
So
show you my ways.
exactly. Once they start doing that, then it feels like, all right, you brought Max just so you can have the biggest alarm possible to to show that we're going into a different and bolder direction with this series. That is maybe, I don't know. It just feels like we're getting into, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. We'll talk about it more later, but that's like my main takeaway with Max coming back. They did good with her until you realize, oh, they brought her back just for us to look at this.
Yeah. No, I get you. I'm excited to touch upon that when we get there.
Indeed.
So yeah, they go to watch the media shower. Something's going on with Safi. Upon trying to reveal said secret, Max is interrupted by a phone call received by Safi, which she answers rather frantically. Losing track of her friend, Max pursues Safi, only to find her acting somewhat unusual, wandering the grounds and ultimately getting herself killed by an unknown gunman. Now, I apologize. These games can be difficult to synopsize
Oh yeah.
because some things can be different. I'm like, I know that you could have found out if like what her secret was beforehand. In mine, I didn't. Were you able to figure out what she was hiding?
Oh, like what I was able to figure out is before she goes down there, she had a book deal that she had just secured, but then it got pulled last minute, as far as I understand, and
Okay,
that
so
potentially,
she did
yeah,
tell you that?
yeah, I got her to confess that to me. I at
Okay.
least got her to confess that she had the book deal.
Gotcha. Yeah,
I
that was
didn't.
the thing with the
Yeah.
bottle cap, right?
Yes, the bottle cap. I was able to do
Okay.
that.
All right. Yeah, I failed it, I guess, because then I didn't find that out until like the whole going in Gwen's office and that stuff. So
Yeah,
it
snooping
kind of
around.
added another layer of mystery for a longer time for me, I guess. Um, Also, now thinking back on it, what did you choose regarding the Chloe situation? Did you like because you kind of got to do a Bay or Bay choice at the beginning of this? So, like,
Yeah.
way did you choose?
I went the Bay route, which is to say, I let everyone live, and I stuck to that choice in this game. And so when talking about that situation, my whole arc was Chloe was gone, and I missed her, rather than we tried to make it work and it didn't work.
Okay, so
Because
Chloe ended up being dead in your
yeah, Chloe
version.
was dead in my game. Absolutely.
Wow, and is that how you chose in the original game?
That is how I chose in the original game. And to be honest,
Wow.
I think that's the canon ending if we're keeping it a buck. Like the cutscene for Chloe dying is way longer and more detailed than the 2 seconds you get of them driving through storm wreckage on the way out of town.
Well, it's weird because according to the other games, it wouldn't be the canon ending. In Life is Strange 2, you see the destroyed Arcadia Bay.
Really?
And in True Color, I'm sorry if I spoiled that for you. I don't know how
No,
many
it's
you
fine.
played.
I haven't literally the only Life is Strange games I've played are ones with Chloe or Max in them.
Okay, all right. 2 is phenomenal. I love it so very much. It's
It's on the
very
list.
it's very not related at all. Like truly seeing it is like you're kind of on a road trip and it just like is a I think you might even go out of your way to like read a plaque and then you realize, oh, it's over there. Like it's an Easter egg.
Okay,
Um
okay. That's
and
fine. It's
then
yeah.
yeah, and then in True Colors, there's something
There is a character from Arcadia
that
Bay in True
yes,
Colors.
there is a character and uh, I won't spoil how that goes,
But
but
she reveals what the canon is on that side of
yeah, I
things.
guess it kind of follows that canon. It's I guess I guess I've spoiled it too, but
I
I apologize.
know what character it is. I just don't know anything about why she's there, what her past has been up to that point, etc.
Oh,
But I do know the character. They're from Before the Storm.
oh wait, I know what you're thinking of. I'm
Oh,
thinking of
there's
something
a
completely different. And
okay.
now that I realize it, I think I'm thinking still of 2. Play 2.
I should play two. I should play two. One of these days I'll get around to it. You saw how long
it
it took me to get to this one.
it all kind of bleeds together at this point. But then the choosing Chloe ending um no. Yeah, I think that's the one that also follows the comic, but that ends up being an alternate universe. It's crazy, man.
hmm
It goes way too far. But I digress on all of this. And my Chloe was still alive. So it was nice to see little like she would pop up in the social media, but like you would never interact with her at all. It was just kind of reading her Facebook posts. Um so, I mean, it was weird. It's weird how it just kind of leaves her in the dust. But like the
Yeah,
idea of her, it has no bearing on the story except for the trauma Max has. But and there is a scene near the end actually that does harken back to the original. But
that is true too.
um but I will continue on because we're only at the beginning of episode 1. So Safi is killed and where was I? Where was I? Where was I?
Safi is killed by unknown gunmen.
Unknown gunman. This sudden death causes Max and Miles to spiral emotionally, along with the student body, including the headmaster and Safi's mother, Yasmin. Within the next few days, Amanda visits Max to lift her spirits, but ultimately friend zones her for fear of too much going on right now. Max is called by Yasmin, who asks her to come visit. In her office, Yasmin confronts Max with several questions regarding Safi's recent mental state, even bringing up the possibility of suicide. After this heavy conversation, Max goes to meet with Miles, but not before getting accosted by local sleuth Loretta, host of the school's true crime podcast and current nosy investigator of Safi's untimely murder. Max gets into trouble with another teacher, Gwen, after Loretta informs her Max was eavesdropping on her frankly eyebrow-raising phone call.
Yeah.
So, introduction of some more characters there. I mean, we talked about Gwen a little bit, but we'll go into it more when that happens. First thoughts of Loretta. Did you just kind of try to avoid her because
I
she
tried to
was
call
a
her
sleuth?
bluff. I tried to
Okay.
call her bluff and be like, yeah, you're not going to snitch. And then she snitched. But it seemed like Gwen was like, she's a piece of shit anyway, so I'm not going to like respect your word. Then she turned down and was like, is she telling the truth though? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, God damn it, Max. And then walked away upset. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I tried to reload the save. That was my second time doing it. So I just was like, well, I'm fucked either way.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way you could really start off good with Gwen because they just kind of wanted her to be like the scary teacher, but then she ends up being like the misunderstood scary teacher. And
Mm-hmm.
the arc that Gwen has is phenomenal, and also in the end of it all will be my downfall with the choices that I make regarding her.
Bro, same. I wish I made better choices with her, just slightly better. Not it didn't go off the deep end, but I wish I went slightly better with her.
Yeah, I mean the crux of Life is Strange is you think you're doing the right thing, and then
Mm-hmm.
the choices will never. You have to live with the consequences. So that's good. I like that you're also in that same boat.
Absolutely.
After this, Miles and Max bond as they chat about the friend they've lost, taking in the sights of the school and how.
Moses.
Oh, what'd I say? Miles.
Miles.
Who's Miles? Oh, Miles is the bad guy, right?
I'm
Why do I keep
looking at the
writing
character list.
Miles?
I'm trying to figure out who Miles is.
I
Is
think it auto.
Miles the guy who saw a doppelganger of himself once?
I don't even remember. I think it might have autocorrected to Miles every time I wrote Moses.
Wow. What
Literally
a
every time. Hold on. In
man. You try to type Christmas, it says Xmas. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's the second time I've said Miles. Literally every time. Who am I talking about? That's crazy. In episode 2, I've written Moses, so we'll just.
All right, we'll get back to
I
it
don't
at
know
some
who
point.
the hell Miles is. Anyway.
So Mr. Morales is in this game.
I'm such a great reporter. So Moses and Max bond, blah, 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 blah. They're all grieving. Finally, as Miles leaves, Max hears Moses' voice calling from some other spectral plane. She finds out she can now use a pulse power that allows her to see alternate timelines. The episode ends as she not only sees Safi on the other side, but manages to tear through reality and embrace her recently deceased best friend, now alive and tangible once more. Now, it has been... Oh, go ahead.
I'll say for not quite the ending, but the entire back half of this episode where everyone's like grieving Safi, it was very I've yet to play True Colors. I want to play True Colors, but because that game is so focused on emotions, I had this outside perspective, especially playing this game, where I was like, there's a lot of like therapy talk going on throughout this game where everyone's saying like the exact thing to say in an emotionally heightened situation. Like everyone feels like they've been very like trained for sensitivity in a lot of these
Yeah.
conversations. And it's not necessarily even a criticism. It's just something I noticed that felt weird compared to the original, well, before the storm and the original Life is Strange, where I guess it's because those are children and they're not going to talk sensitively on certain topics, even though crazy things are going on. But here it's like, hey man, I just need a little bit of time, and okay, just let me know if you. It just felt like everybody was really nice in a way where it makes sense because someone just died on campus and you're
Mhm.
best friends with them. So I guess it makes sense everyone's being nice to you, but it also felt like, man, it'd be nice if the world was like this.
Yeah, it's all very somber, and I mean,
Mhm.
until you get a couple more episodes in and you start realizing like who the bad guys are, everybody kind of does just collect, come together and grieve, and
Mhm.
it is kind of nice.
Indeed.
um but yeah, like reading, it's been a while since I played the first episode, and reading this now, I'm like, oh, that started off like, not that it didn't end strong, but it started off like so. I remember getting to the end of that first episode and just being like, damn, this is gonna be a fun ride.
Yeah. I think that
And
was a really strong ending there to finally introduce the sci-fi stuff.
yeah, and like I remember going and immediately writing to Alan. And I don't know why people aren't liking this game because it's strong off the bat, and it's. I mean, I really like. I mean, my other little supplemental notes I have are like, I enjoy that I have eye and face. The face animations look amazing. I love Safi. I love Amanda and Max. Like I was loving all of these little bit details about how good this game was. Like right off the bat, I was really into it.
I mean, I was playing it after the Zeitgeist came and went on it, so I knew that episode 1 and 2 were, like, the good episodes, and then it falls off. So I was just like, "Hey, episode 1 is really good, but man, I'm dreading anything after this." And I talked about it on Blue Sky where I played episode 1 and then I played episode 2 kind of, close to the same time, and then it was, like, a good month before I got around to 3, and then once I did, I just played the whole thing pretty much back to back.
Yeah, and that's the thing with these is I always forget that these games are episodic because like I played the first Life is Strange years after it came out. And
Mhm.
I mean, this is the first one that I don't I don't remember if it was released episodically. What
No, it wasn't. I think it was early access. You could play episode 1 and 2, but then once the game came out, every episode was on there.
Okay. And it is technically 5 episodes, but because of the structure of them not being like back in the day with like Telltale games, you knew you were getting like a 2-hour episode. And Life is
Indeed.
Strange is were the same kind of way. But with this one, the last episode's like 50 minutes, I think. And like the third episode is like hefty. Like it's got a
Mhm.
I think it's either the third or the second episode are big. And they just kind of structured it a lot differently with how like you're not just going to sit down and play another episode because like it's I don't know, they made it more kind of like a TV show, I guess, with the way that we're gonna spend more time with these set pieces and give you more time in the world. Same with like the exploration, like some hub, like I mean, the hub world is pretty big, and there's a lot of just like it reminded me of like those games where you can explore like whatever Harry Potter games there are that you can explore Hogwarts and just kind of go around from like, oh, you're in this classroom, you're in this area of the library, and like there's quite a lot of exploration in it, and I like that a lot.
Yeah. A lot of like lingering around. And I will say, just for this game overall, episode 1 and 2 are like half the game. Like,
Yeah.
that is a good 50 to 60% of everything. So the fact that I think the demo for this game is just episode 1, which is tradition for the series. Episode 1 is like 30% of the game. So like you're gonna know if you fuck with the game off of that, but they wait to introduce a lot of stuff, which is probably the controversial part of the game.
Yeah. Um
Indeed.
why did I write I hate that I wrote this and I'm gonna hopefully eat my words.
Let's
But at the
go.
very that one of my notes from the episode 1 is the game's a bit preachy progressive. Now
Yeah.
I'm never one to think that, but you played it more recently. Did it feel that way?
When I talked about the whole therapy speaky thing, that is what I mean. That is
Okay.
when I say that, it's like because no, I don't want to say like how normal people are, but like in my head, normal people are not always very like normal people are not media trained. A lot of the characters in that first episode felt like they were media trained, where it was like
Okay.
where everything felt very like, all right, there's no messy parts here. There's no like, oh, I
Extra
said the wrong
gentle.
thing. Yeah, it felt very extra gentle, almost in a after school program type of way. Um That's why, and once again, probably just because someone died. So if anyone was gonna be gentle to people, probably right after your best friend died and you
Yeah.
saw the body as soon as it dropped. So like, that's probably a good reason for that. But that is where I got that energy from. I didn't really get it anywhere else. I will say, we're gonna talk about Max and Amanda later. That is my highlight of the entire game.
Yep.
But their intro, their first meet cute was very cute in a way that felt like very idyllic.
I do think that it handles a lot of the stuff really well, and like over time it becomes I think that's why I'm looking at it in hindsight. I wish I could remember what examples made me think that, but looking at it overall, I'm like, I mean, we'll talk about Gwen, but I think it handles like trans stuff really well. I think the
Indeed.
Amanda thing, it handles like, their relationship really well. I was very, very, and I would have loved to talk with Alan about this, but we kind of talked about it when they were playing it in the beginning. I think Moses being autistic is
Yeah,
really, really beautifully done.
I love that
And
too.
like there are bits and pieces where like Max so well uh works with him.
Hmm.
Like she talks to him very delicately. She that We'll get to it, but that freaking scene with the gingerbread house at the end, I
Oh
hope
my God.
I hope you saw that through to the end.
Oh yeah, I
Like,
got that trophy. Yeah.
okay, good, because that scene, like, just the way that she talks to him, she knows how like his feelings work, like it's so well done. And then you see, especially when the cop comes in the later episode, and they like he does like a thing with like his fingers, like kind of like
Yeah, the
I
counting
remember
thing.
that. Yeah, like it's so there was research put into that. I mean, I know that the person who plays him was autistic as well, and I like
Wow.
I read something about that. He was like big into really portraying that, but I don't know. I was just really blown away by how delicately all of that was done, and like so I hate be saying that it was preachy in any way, because by the end of it, it just felt so comforting to all of these
Yeah.
groups of people.
I think preachy kind of indirectly implies that there is it's preaching to someone who isn't the choir.
Right.
But in this case, it's less preachy because it doesn't feel like it's teaching. It just feels like it's just portraying these things with complete sincerity,
Yeah.
without any without any opportunity for it to be like, well, in the real world, if you had someone who was like, this gentle, the world wouldn't be so gentle back to. It's honestly, look, I don't know if this is going to be a very specific thing for people listening who might not have seen it, but I wrote a review for the Tyler Perry movie Straw. And that movie is cruel to an insane degree where it's not even fun to watch.
Oh
This,
no.
yeah, it's not like horror. It's just mean. It's not like you're watching horrible parental guidelines. Like, it's not like there's gore or extreme like abuse or anything you're seeing, but it is like a bunch of mean people doing mean things for no reason, or for little reason. But Life is Strange feels like, all right, everyone's being kind, and because that's kind of the default. Most people are decent. Like, yes, not everyone's gonna treat someone like Moses with the gentleness that he gives and displays, but in this specific instance, yes. Like, we don't have to show the worst that could happen. It's kind of
Mhm.
like it's the Last of Us thing, where it's like every single day of the Last of Us, the original game, is like one of the most defining days of their lives, and it's always defined by violence. Well, normal people don't have a fucking horrible violent day that defines their life every couple months.
Right.
So
You got to
yeah, it
let
was
these
just
people
nice.
feel.
Exactly, exactly. So it was just nice to have that lower stakes vibe to it.
Yeah. And I don't know, I forget what his name was. The guy that's kind of crappy. Oh, Lucas in this. Um like he provides
Yeah.
that negativity, because like if you have a death on campus in school, you're going to have people that spread rumors, you're going to have people that, they deserved it, that kind of thing. And
Hmm.
like so he provided that, and then there's like Vin and the Abraxas thing, and like there's always there's like these little bits and pieces that do provide as the game goes on, that like things start peeling apart at the seams, and you realize that it's not all as we're all in this together as it
Yeah,
seems. Um,
indeed.
but
It
yeah,
gives
so
an
that was
edge.
yes. So that was episode 1. I'll move on to episode 2 because I wrote quite a bit about it. But yeah, let's see how we go.
Is this about the blue-haired girl whose picture you keep in your wallet?
Wait, you snooped in my wallet?
Stop deflecting. The girl with the blue hair. What's the deal with you two?
She's just an old friend from when I was a kid.
Must have been some friend if you still keep her picture in your wallet.
Don't use your daytime TV shrink voice on me. New subject.
No, come on. You never talk about yourself. Would it kill you to open up the teeny tiniest bit? What happened?
She died my senior year.
Oh, shit.
Nah, hey, it's cool. It was a long time ago.
You want to talk about something else?
God, yes.
Deal. Amanda, thoughts?
So Max meets with Safi and her mother at the tavern, and they discuss her phone call. We learn that Safi was offered a publishing deal for her work. That's where I found it.
Okay, there you go.
Shortly after, Max finds that she can tear rifts between the living Safi timeline and the dead Safi timeline. By shifting between them, she begins to unravel a new mystery. Someone threw a skull, signed by Lucas Colmenero, at Safi's car. Could this be a threat? Max heads out to investigate and stumbles upon some new plot developments in no significant order. Now, this is how I like, because you could kind of just go wherever you wanted
True.
in this world. So, like, I just kind of wrote a bunch of things.
Open season.
But yeah, I guess like before I get into it, thoughts on the new gameplay device, because we're used to Max being able to shift time, and she kind of drops that she can't do that anymore. Like ever since the storm happened at Arcadia Bay,
Well,
she can't do it anymore.
From what I understand, she stopped. If you let everyone die, I assume that she still has the powers, but she just has less and less reason to use them after the breakup. And if you let Chloe die, then you kind of stop using your powers to save everybody, so you wouldn't use them again, and then they kind of just atrophied over time. And so coming back with this new set of powers, I think it's interesting. I like the whole I do like the idea of like you can go back and forth and kind of like affect things in one timeline and have people interact with you from the alternate timeline in the current one you're in. I really like that kind of conceit. I wish they did I feel like this is very clearly we didn't have the development time to make this seamless, or there was no technical ability to do this. It should have been a button that you can just hit to switch between back and forth, rather than let me go to the space pocket and then open it up and then come back. Like that wasn't great.
Yeah, it seemed because it took away the mystery of it, of like in games like that where you have like shifts between the worlds. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but we've seen that kind of thing before. And you kind of want to use it wherever you are. Oh, I'll see if there's a thing here. Maybe there's some kind of secret, and this game kind of made it more like you have to be in certain areas, and then I guess something's gonna happen here. Like,
and it's really egregious because like when you go into the little pocket to switch to the other dimension, it always like rotates immediately to like a wall that's fairly nondescript, so that they can load everything else behind you.
Yeah. No, yeah.
It's a little like, all right, guys, I see behind the curtain.
I see what we're doing. Are we secretly doing loading screens here? Like we're trying to hide things,
squeezing through the gap, slow motion.
It's like the what is it? God of War, that like gets away with no loading screens because it has you like open. It's either opening doors or when you're like squeezing through tight spaces, it's actually loading the game.
Yep, that was God of War 3 did that all the fucking time.
Oh man, kids will never know. But so going in order, I have a couple of points here. So number 1, Vin Lang, Yasmin's secretary and the head of the exclusive Abraxas Society, is on edge. He lost his phone and suspects fellow student Diamond is the culprit. After talking to Diamond, Max learns that while she's no phone thief, Diamond does intend to steal Vin's throne as head of Abraxas. She feels a regime change is just what this school needs. I'll give you a moment to talk about Diamond because you said that she was a high point.
I'll say I like Diamond. I like the weird thing about this game, just in general, is I think Max is like technically like a grad student there, so she's like on the staff technically, but her age is very close to most of the students, and because of that, there's a little bit of blurred lines here going on with Diamond and a character that she has affection for, which I don't know if you've read into that. I read into that, and so that is a little weird, but also very, very sweet if you just take out the age aspect and the power dynamic there. But I just like her spunk. I like that there's a black woman in this game, and I also like how she's like has a very black hairstyle, like the locks with the little charms in it. Like that's beautiful. She just looks beautiful, but like in a way where it's like you're a cute kid. Go ahead, girl. Go out there and live your life, rather than me feeling any type of way like I'm going to talk about for some of these other characters. But yeah, Diamond's great, and also the one who gave me the ick that I talked about earlier, Vin Lang. Vin Lang gave me the fucking ick.
Yeah, right off the bat, I think I had read a little note earlier. I was like, Vin is a dick. I will not cave to your romance options.
Well, it's rough because there are a couple characters actually that are like kind of shifty, kind of a dick, but like they have parts to them that are like broken or points of empathy with them. Even like the villain, quote unquote, of the game, which this game doesn't really have a main villain, but like probably the worst person here. They have points of empathy as well. So it's complicated. It's messy, which I think is kind of a main theme of the game.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like looking back on the original Life is Strange and even like the others in the series, I feel like they all kind of have like a bad guy, and the game is about like, you know, the emotions and relationships you form with other people. But I feel like this one does a really good job of giving you perspectives on everybody and kind of making you feel like you even get like moments where Yasmin is like full on bitch. And then you're like, oh no, I kind of do feel for you. Like, especially by the end, you kind of have a like this weird, oh, you kind of are a friend, you just misunderstood. I don't know. Like it's weird.
I don't know about Yasmin because I didn't talk to her enough to know why she did the shit that she apparently did. And so when we get to that point, I need you to clarify some things because I'm confused.
Okay, I will do my best with the notes I have.
All right. We'll get there.
I wanted to say briefly before I go on, I know that like it's a big thing about like black hair in games. And I think that the two black people that were, you know, portrayed had hair that was unique for games. Like it was they were both done pretty well, and that was cool.
I will say one of those characters had a very basic hairstyle that is not difficult at all to like
Truth.
to really depict, but also because of the type of character they are, that makes sense for them.
Yes,
like
true.
That just makes sense for a character like that.
It was nice to just not see the, what is it, like it's stereotypical
it's
to
like
just be dreadlocks.
It's cornrows or it's just afro.
Oh, okay.
If a black person's in a game, you can change their hair. You're having at least those two hairstyles, and you can't expect anything else.
That is wild. I don't know why that's always the go-to.
And it's weird. The ones that like actually nail it sometimes are like the weirdest things. Like Wulong Fallen Dynasty had like incredible hairstyles. It's weird.
Huh.
But yeah,
I just finished Tales of Kanzara Zhao, and
wow.
like that hairstyle's pretty pretty standard for what you're saying. Like
Hmm.
his hair was pretty just basic, but fantastic game. Did you play that?
I haven't. Well, I played a little bit of it in like a demo, but I haven't come around on a full game. I do own it through the EA app. They gave it away through Humble a little while ago, so I'm gonna get around to it. And now looking at it, Tales of Kanzera Zhao, his hair is basic, but at the same time, actually, no. He's got kind of like a faux hawk going with him. There's good hair in that, but also it's one character that you can't customize, and it's culturally relevant as well. So that's thematically there rather than just here's the template, go with it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really good, especially with Metroidvanias like that. I had a great time. It scratched the Ori itch, if that helps you make you want to play it at all.
One of these days, I have a list in my head of like what I'm gonna play, and I think Thousand Times Resist and Darksiders Genesis are the two on my plate right now.
Oh, Darksiders Genesis. I did not finish that, but I played a bit of that when it was on Game Pass, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it so far, but I gotta get deeper.
Good. Speaking of getting deeper, diving further into Vin's secrets, Max learns that he and Safi did actually have a past. She uncovers a picture of the two in bed together and finds herself helping him through a drunken morning session. He even slips up and seems to know more information about the cow skull mystery than Max inquired about. Could he be the culprit? Ooh, spooky. Number 3, Max breaks into Gwen's office, who, in the living Safi timeline, finds herself in trouble with the school security guard. After being escorted out of her office, Max seizes the opportunity and learns that Gwen not only got Safi her book deal, but subsequently urged to have it canceled. Was this a surprise for you when you read this?
Yeah, I was surprised by this. I didn't understand in general, I still, even to this point, don't understand why. I understand who asked Gwen to get the book canceled. I don't understand the reason for desiring it to get canceled by that person. Like I'm still foggy on their motivation for it, which is what I wanted to ask about later. But it did surprise me that she was the one behind it, because I was thinking, oh, something came up from somewhere else, like maybe because Safi, look, Safi's great character, but she doesn't seem like the most buttoned up person possible. And so I was like, okay, maybe they caught her doing some debaucherous shit, and now the book deal's canceled because it's a bad look. I don't know. So that's what I was kind of thinking. But to see that it was just, oh, it got canceled from Gwen's choice, I guess it was surprising. But it did make sense once I found out that, like, oh, there's some real shit that could be talked about within this book that I think they're trying to avoid coming back to the light.
God, I hope I can remember all these details to try to flesh things out.
Specifically, the character that has died before the game started, that is brought up a lot.
Yes. Okay,
Yes.
yes. All right.
There you
go. I will call an audible if need be, because I played this whole thing like with my fiance, and she's next to me, so I will ask her questions if I don't remember things. So next I have Max. No, number 4. Max runs into Lucas Colmenero, and she quickly learns that his life is going much better in the dead Safi timeline. Despite his good relationship with his son and a thriving professional writing career, he seems to be hiding something in a briefcase, and Max wants to know what it is. She devises a plan, and through the shifting of timelines, she learns that the briefcase withholds a restraining order against Safi. Lucas catches Max in the act and tries to convince her to keep the restraining order a secret. He believes Safi may be influencing his son negatively, and he wants to smooth things out on his own terms. Max also finds he has an alibi in the cow skull mystery, and there's no way he could have thrown it through Safi's window. So let's see. I think I had written down. Oh yeah, this was the first choice I had written down. Did you send or delete the restraining order photo?
I deleted it because I still didn't think Lucas was like the big bad of the game quite yet. So I was kind of like, look, let me give you benefit of the doubt. I'll let you figure this out on your own. But I was also counting on if this thing does blow up, I'll be able to say and or do something about it.
Okay. I did the same thing. I was just like, I don't think I need to like be mean all the time. like it really
Yeah.
was just benefit of the doubt. I get your story. Again, that was one of the things. Like the empathy was there. You felt bad for him. I don't
Mhm.
understand why you hated my friend, but listen, that's between you guys. You do your thing, and I'll just be over here. I'm glad that you weren't mad about me breaking into your stuff.
Yeah, because he definitely could have like gone hard on me.
Yeah. But yeah, Lucas was one I did not trust from the very beginning because just I don't know, he just rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, man.
Um,
In these games, I'm often not going to trust the straight man wherever they are.
it does kind of get you to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So later on in this massive episode, Loretta enlists Max to help Reggie, a shell-shocked student who claims to have seen a doppelganger of himself at the Overlook where Safi died.
Can I speak on that moment real quick?
Yes, go for it.
What did you think that was when you first saw it? When you first heard of him, like, oh, I saw myself.
Um, I think I may have thought that it was like a rift in the time. Like there was something going on, like maybe similar to the storm, where like it's affecting everybody. We're all seeing
Hmm.
this weird time distortion.
See, I didn't have the concepts of the storm in my head yet until that actually came up. What I thought had happened is that Max going back and forth between these timelines somehow opened it up to where like the other world's Reggie was walking around in this current world, and
Ah,
there was somehow like he was interacting with them and stuff. And I think episode 3 starts with this. So we'll find out soon, but like the police officer goes through something similar where he's interacting
yes.
with the other world version of him, and that becomes catastrophic.
And I will say that is one of my biggest hangups about this game because I don't
Yeah,
think that was fleshed out well enough.
that was not because once Lucas is like, or I saw myself or whatever. Is it Lucas that got? No, it's not Lucas.
Reggie.
What once Reggie is like, I saw myself. Then in my head, I'm immediately like, where's me in the other world? Where's Max in the other world? And I was like, oh shit, like all this shit is gonna pop off. But then it goes in a completely different direction, which we'll talk about soon.
It does. It really flips the script. Um,
Absolutely.
so Max investigates only to cross paths with Gwen at the Overlook. And this scene is one of the big things that made me nominate her for best character in Game of the Year. This whole scene is incredible. Gwen informs her that the school believes it has evidence of Gwen selling drugs to students, so they let her go. She also opens up about her experience as a trans woman and how she's grown to not let people put her down. She destroys
Mhm.
the evidence, and Max seemingly befriends this living timeline Gwen. Uh, I guess that right there is you know, like I'll just drop it. I let her destroy it.
Me too.
Okay.
And I was happy to do that in retrospect.
I was happy to do it because it was one of the best scenes of the game. I was like just, hearing her story, hearing her open up, especially being a character that was kind of framed as an antagonist in a way. Oh, we're gonna have problems. She's gonna be, on like I don't know what the word is.
Antagonist. Oh,
Standoffish
standoffish.
with me.
Yes.
Um and instead she opened up about like her personal life and the way that she's viewed at school and the people that like just everything that was going on, and it really did frame the choice as let this person who has never been able to be herself and make her own choices make her own choice. And that
Hmm.
was why I let her destroy it, because it set it up in such a way that, as I said before, you think you're doing the right thing by letting her destroy it. And did you look into the other option at all after the
I
fact?
I did not, because only the choices that I like feel immediate regret are the ones I go back and try to reload a save on. This one I was like, you know what? Fuck them.
Yeah.
Fuck them for trying to fuck with you, girl. Like, I was right there with you. And I do think, because I gotta be honest, I don't think, if not for the conversations that we had about the transness of her character, I don't think I would have been so. I think it's not that I wouldn't have been on her side, but I think that affected me wanting to ride for her so much, because I am so much more empathetic to. I'm so much more empathetic to people on the spectrum
Mhm.
of any of that shit. So I was like, "Yo, yeah, let's fuck up. It's you and me against the world, girl." And so I was really, and also I already liked Gwen. I already just got a good vibe from her immediately when she's like, "Super Max, what's good?" And it's like dapping you up and like giving you a high five or whatever as soon as you meet her, even without the accidental eavesdropping. Like, I was already empathetic towards her and liked her. So when I heard that, I was like, you know what? Yeah, fuck them. They're doing the wrong thing, because I knew it couldn't have been her if she's saying it's not her. I know she wouldn't lie to me.
Yeah. And you're just kind of like, I think I felt like letting her burn it would put her story at ease and put her at ease. And like, okay, just now she can go and be herself. And I just felt like we were doing the right thing. I'm just gonna let it burn. Nothing bad could ever possibly come of this choice. And I guess I won't like, say everything that goes on right now. I'll mention it later on, but like just know that we fucked up. But
I feel
yes.
like oh, I don't know if we fucked up. There's one change I wanted to make. I don't know if the change came right then. So we'll talk about it in a minute, I guess.
Okay. All right, I got you. Um so yeah, after Gwen leaves, Max is confronted by Loretta, who claims to feel bad for their interaction in episode 1. She tells Max about Maya, a girl who took her own life a few years ago. She was Safi's friend, and Loretta wonders if Safi might have followed some pattern and took her own life as well. Max doesn't know what to believe, but she intends to learn more about Maya. So, Maya being the character that you mentioned that was dead for a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes. And she kind of becomes the crux of Double Exposure. In the last big scene, Max finds Moses being questioned by Detective Alderman. He senses Moses has something to do with Safi's death, and unbeknownst to him, Moses has taken Safi's camera and hidden it. Max takes it upon herself to break into Moses' room and grab the camera, all the while moving through rifts and ultimately discovering a power where she can bring things from one timeline into another. So, here we have a new gameplay development. Thoughts?
Yep. Um, I thought, well, the actual gameplay of being able to take things from one thing to the other isn't like the most exciting thing. I guess it makes sense. It's not too mind blowing. I will say, just this set piece in general was very, very cool, and
Mhm.
it really tripped me up how much the cop was like. I guess we'll find out even more about this come episode 3, but that cop was on your ass. Like, as right after the scene, he's like, "Boy, what's going on?" But it was a really cool set piece and a really cool way to just show just how substantial the power of bringing things back and forth was, and
Mhm.
also how, like, yo, something a bell should have been rung on Max's abilities way sooner than this, because right there, like, you're telling me this telescope went from completely built to back in the box. The fuck happened? Like, I definitely would have been like, what's going on?
Yeah, and it was weird, like, it was weird, but it was also kind of interesting that you were going between, like, this frantic timeline and then just a way more laid back timeline. Like, you're just
Yeah.
kinda jumping through. It was a really neat, like, in terms of exploration and a puzzle for Life is Strange, it was pretty inventive to have, like, a stealth segment, but also, like, trying to find it was puzzle solving. It was really interesting.
Yeah.
And, And I mean the pulling things into another world isn't a huge part of it. It's more like a story development. But yeah, that detective was, I guess he's the closest to and like true antagonist with no real cause for sympathy. Like he just
Yeah.
he had no real empathetic qualities.
Yeah, he was purely there to stir up shit.
He was absolute evil.
Well, that's 12 for you.
So then she brings a power. She retrieves the camera, and in the dead timeline, she and Moses uncover Safi's final picture, Max pointing a gun at her. Moses runs away, believing Max is the one behind their friend's untimely demise. So,
Shit.
thoughts there?
Buddy, this is right when I was like, okay, so if Reggie saw himself and now Max is seeing herself, it's absolutely like the other timeline people they must have a completely different like relationship dynamic than what this current world has, because there has to be some crazy shit going on. So that's what my first assumption was. So I was like, okay, now everyone's just interacting with the other timelines, but how are the other people getting around? Does that Max have the ability to jump between timelines too? Like my brain was just going wild. And that I heard that the second episode ended so strongly that the rest of the game not quite standing up to that same quality was like really disappointing. So when I saw that ending, I'm like, oh fuck, that has so many different possibilities.
Yeah, it still had its claws in me at that point. I was just like,
Yes.
well, let's frickin' go.
Yeah, that was as deep as the claws got for me, probably.
But then did keeping with the analogy, did the claws start retracting? Or were you pretty like on it for the end, till the end?
I think I was just, so this one really excited me, and then I forget how episode 3 ended, but I remember episode 3 I was still like, okay, what the fuck's going on? Whenever I could tell the things and the plot points that people might have been upset about, but whenever I got to those, I was never like, all right, what the fuck is this? I was more like, I am interested to hear your justification behind that. It's like when a really smart person says a really obvious conspiracy theory, but you respect them too much to be like, that's just wrong. You're instead like, I want to know how you got there.
Why are we doing this?
Exactly.
Oh man. Well, I think it did a pretty good job for like, no, I guess at times I don't think it did a good job. I don't know.
It did. It did a good job with, here's the thing. I think Deck 9 is really good at characters and the grounded elements of the Life is Strange series. I think they play a little bit too fast and loose with the power set, because all of my critiques of this game come down to, all right, timeline wise and like plot hole wise, the sci-fi stuff is just not really tied up all that well.
Mm-hmm.
And then even when like things are getting really complicated, they basically try to have their cake and eat it too at the very end with like the decision that you're forced to make about things. But even that, it's not bad. It's just intentionally unconclusive. And it's, on one hand, I'm like, that's a really fascinating direction to go in, but it's intentionally unsatisfying. So it doesn't feel satisfying.
Yeah. No, I agree. It just kind of goes places that you didn't need it to go sometimes. And like,
yeah, like it adds things that are exciting in the moment. When you think back to it, it's like, that didn't really matter at all.
mm-hmm. Like the thing that happens with Alderman. It just kind of, it goes into sci-fi that you were on board with until you're like, why?
Because the thing with Alderman, I mean, that's beginning of episode 3.
Yeah, it's somewhere in here.
Yeah, I'll just quickly say the thing with Alderman is kind of the first introduction of, hey, there is a danger attached to this power set. Like there is a way to use these powers incorrectly, and that was the first tease of that. But then we really don't come around to like that being a danger ever again.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's like, damn, I guess we're not interacting with that. So all these moments
When
that feel like foreshadowing are just cool moments that don't foreshadow anything.
Yeah, and Life is Strange Prime, the season 1, is very heavily full of you should not keep using this power.
Hmm.
Like she was getting nosebleeds, right?
Yeah.
And like there was always this like a very, I mean, I know that you had to do it. It wasn't it was more linear than we like to think, but in terms of the way that the story plays out, it was like you're starting to have consequences for your actions. Things are happening here, and as you start unraveling the whole thing with what was her name, Amber, the
And
Rachel.
oh, oh, like you're talking about the original game.
Yeah, the original,
Yeah,
the girl.
Rachel Amber.
Yeah, um
So you were right
like
on both counts.
I guess so. You just kind of start realizing like, oh, this time thing, like I wish I could do more with it, but I can't. And then she had like the photograph thing where she could jump into pictures.
Hmm.
Like it
Which
got
they kind
weird.
of keep around in this game.
They do. It has this strange, and that's why when I'm like, why do people really like hate this so vehemently? Because by the end, we're getting so many callbacks to the original. And you're kind of like, this does feel like a weird, not love letter, but like you're getting some kind of reward for having played the original, and this
Yeah.
does feel like a sequel. So I was just kind of like, why did we hate it so much? Did they really hate it so much because of the Chloe thing that they didn't even want to continue? Because I mean, we're gonna get into the Amanda thing, and like that
Oh my God, let's go.
that kind of made me feel like, Chloe who? Anyway.
Yeah, man. Woo.
um,
Her picture's knocked off the wall by a bra strap that gets tossed towards it.
oh my god! Listen, you keep your fan fictions out of here.
Let me tell you, we're about to get fanficky in a minute.
My last thing about episode 2 that I will say, and you may not even have a frame of reference. Did you save the cat?
Oh, I didn't buy the deluxe edition. I was like, once I found out that I'm spending $20 just to have like a side character or side quest for a cat, I got kind of vehemently upset about like, you're really just you're milking the target demographic of this game to be like, hey, you want a cat? Pay 20 extra bucks. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, it was kind of wacky. And now that you say it, thank you for reminding me. I had written this when I was kind of following along, time wise with a Let's Play, and I was like, they got a cat. I don't think that ever happened for me. And then I looked it up, and I was like, oh, it's DLC. Like to just get little added bits and pieces, like in a later episode, oh, your cat's on the fridge, what a wacky cat. And you get a couple dialogue options, and it's like, this has nothing to do with anything. I will say though, and I know that people were really mad about the deluxe options, and like there's just too many additions to this game, but there is a kind of heavy focus on changing your clothes. Like
Yeah.
and I felt like not having a deluxe edition gave me very minimal clothing options.
3
really
out of
Yeah,
8.
yeah, exactly. In every episode, you can choose the same damn coat colors. And it was like, why? I wish I could have unlocked something like alternately. Lost Records Bloom and Rage has so many clothing options, and like every time you're able to change your clothes, you can change a new outfit like every time and never wear the same outfit, and like
Like
that
some of
feels
that.
great, and that was free. So I mean, take notes, Deck 9.
Yeah, I mean, look, I feel like that's more of a Square Enix thing than Deck 9.
Oh, true. They just want their money. Wasn't there a Final Fantasy? I
Yeah,
think there was like,
I think there's Final Fantasy DLC to give you like a T-shirt with Sephiroth on it because she had that one Spirits Within poster in the
oh,
first game.
yeah, she loved the spirits within.
She had dialogue. She's like, "Oh man, people say this is shit, but I like it."
So weird.
Very.
Before I came out, I had this boss, free thinker, who adopted his worldview wholesale from shouty YouTubers.
Yikes.
and a raging transphobe to boot. They're brainwashing our kids, blah, blah, blah. Of course, I was afraid if I said something, said anything, he'd figure me out. But when I was alone, I could conjure the perfect soliloquy to shut him up. Make him feel as small as he made me.
Isn't there, like, a special word for that? In French, right?
L'esprit de l'escalier. The wit of the staircase. I take it you're acquainted?
Oh, yeah. That one's a Max Caulfield greatest hit.
Point is, I've always been able to think of something to say eventually.
So at this point, we're probably halfway through, if not more, because those episodes were. But going on to episode 3 here. So right as she's getting over the initial shock of this photographic revelation, Max is visited by Detective Alderman. He is incredibly suspicious of her, linking the current situation with her past in Arcadia Bay. Max kicks him out and proceeds to have a vision while looking at the photo. She is brought to the Overlook on the night of Safi's death, where she sees a storm similar to the one that destroyed Arcadia Bay. And
Yep.
Safi suggests they're, quote, all cursed, you, me, and Maya. Max collects her thoughts and meets Moses at the Overlook, where she finally reveals her powers to him.
Real quick, when
Yeah.
the whole we're all cursed, me, you, and Maya, I thought right there was, oh shit, they're all tied together. I bet in my head I was thinking Maya has powers.
Ah.
So I was so when it ended up being completely different than that, I'm like, whoa, the fuck? So
I mean,
yeah, that
hell,
was interesting.
going forward in the Avengers, Life is Strange, the Avengers, we could learn that, perhaps, that there was always powers with Maya and Safi. That could be interesting.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, so Max, as she meets Moses, they're interrupted by a vision of Alderman from the other side, and eventually by their own timelines. He sees the vision of himself and tries to interact with it, but this gets him sucked into a time anomaly, ultimately destroying all traces of him from both worlds. And
Yeah,
here
that's
we
insane.
see what happens.
So not only do they both just like get sucked into a wormhole, they never fucking existed.
They never existed. All bits of like text are gone. I think there's even like she tells the other timeline in a text chat. Like, were you looking at those? You must have been, right?
I would try to keep up with the text messages. I didn't look at every social media post though.
Okay. Yeah, those weren't as impactful. They just kind of like reacted to what was going on. But the text, I mean, there are some times that the game prompts you to look at texts. So you probably did those when they were necessary. But
Yeah.
yeah, I try to look at those in Life is Strange's, but sometimes they go way too much with the lore. Like I never really look at the journal entries.
Yeah,
I know
and
that
I've
they're
opened it maybe twice the whole game.
yeah, they're an interesting way to see the story, like in the whole series of all of them. But I just played it. I don't need to see another perspective. But yeah, so like I think she ends up telling the other timeline about Alderman, the other timeline Moses, and he kind of does some searching and he's like, nope, never existed. Like this guy is
Yeah.
gone. and yeah, it really, I mean, being able to interact with the anomaly, like going back to the Reggie thing and like can you really get screwed up by this time anomaly thing? Was this going to be something? And I mean, this is what we were saying, like it goes into this sci-fi thing and doesn't deliver on that aspect.
Yeah, I think I've talked about this before when honestly, when talking about Star Wars, I always talk about how The Last Jedi was so exciting to me because it expanded what was possible in the Star Wars universe through my eyes. It was like,
Mhm.
oh, this could happen. So any character could be special, and or all the main characters could not be special. Like these people aren't just destined by blood to just do everything. And whether or not it ended up being the case ultimately, I think in Life is Strange, whenever they do a red herring or like a false a false tease of something that could potentially come around later, whenever they do that, it for a second just expands the world of Life is Strange, where it's like, oh shit, not only could this happen, but this is like you're loading a gun that is absolutely gonna fire later. And then when they reveal that the gun is full of blanks, it's like, all right, okay, that feels less exciting. And the way that they answer the Reggie shit feels less exciting.
Hmm. Yeah, it feels like a letdown, like especially with their writing of. I mean, I know that, like we said, this it wasn't always Deck Nine. It's always it's a different writing team now taking control of it, but you still have kind of a reputation to uphold. And the like in a world of Telltale games at the time, Life is Strange did a really good job of making you feel like you made a choice that mattered. And I mean
Mhm.
the Bay versus Bay decision is like
Iconic.
iconic.
Yeah.
Exactly. and and so to making a game where you're expecting your choices to matter more than, you know, Walking Dead or what have you, you're like, why would you even put this here? Like, why would you even give me this opportunity? And then there's the choice here of like, are you going to try to pull him out, or are you going to just let him get eaten by the time anomaly? And it's like, and the only repercussion of it is that Moses's hair turns white. Like,
Yeah,
they're like,
that
what did you
seems
choose
strange.
there? Did you try to pull him out?
I did try to pull him out.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
because I
just
was because I didn't want him to like if he does survive this and I didn't help him pull him out, he's gonna hate even more. So
yeah, yeah, you just had this inherent thought that it was gonna matter, and then
hmm
none of it mattered. And Alderman never is a thing again.
yeah,
Like nobody questions him because he's gone.
goddamn
Very
shame.
strange. It's a whole plot point that really just went nowhere and came out of nowhere and provided the stealth segment that got you a new power. But I digress. Continuing on with this. Um, Scared of this world growing more and more mysterious, Max sets off to find answers about Maya Okada. She finds herself talking to Gwen, where she learns the teacher had Safi's book canceled because of its, quote, incendiary content regarding Maya. She got her a book deal and subsequently got it destroyed, and claimed to be looking out for Safi in the process. I
Hmm.
guess you kind of touched on that earlier, not
Fuck
knowing
all that.
why.
Nah, I'm kidding. But yeah, I was upset about that. You know, the whole Maya O'Connor, or is it Okada or
Okada, yeah.
okay, Okada. Yeah, that whole thing. It's a little funky, and then the more you hear about it, the more you're like, damn, all y'all kind of suck.
Yeah, I mean, it is weird. It's one of those murder mystery type, everybody played a part in this, and everybody is, while everyone is sympathetic in a way, everybody's kind of bad in a way.
Yeah,
And
they're
like
all
everybody
complicit.
they all attributed somehow to this girl's death and or her bad mental state, you know. And it's it's cool. Like seeing that story unfold is really neat.
hmm Yeah, it is really neat, but it's also actually no, it's just really neat. I don't have anything else to add. I had it in there, but it withered away. So we'll see if it comes back later.
Later, Max talks with Yasmin, who tells her Safi and Maya barely knew each other. Debatable, and that she thought Vin's statement put this to bed. That was a weird thing, Vin's statement thing.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. I think Vin's statement might have just been. I think Vin might have been close to Okada back in the day, and then once she died, they got Vin to go on the record tying up a bunch of loose ends related to what they did to Okada.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I think that's what that meant.
I feel like I might have written that out as it fleshes itself out, but then also Vin kind of comes around in the end. Vin's such a weird character. I
Yeah,
get why you got the ick from him.
Yeah, because the thing about Vin is actually fine. He's not like a bad person. Like he's a little bit sneaky. He's a little bit. His biggest sin is being annoying, and you have a lot of sympathy because Okada seemed to genuinely be one of his best friends and someone he was really close to, and Safi was close to as well, which kind of made their fling in the earlier episode make a little bit more sense because that was probably more of a trauma bond than anything. But Vin just has so much. He has self-confidence to the point of almost delusion.
Yeah.
And that I don't find appealing or attractive. Like, doubt yourself a little bit because that shows you have the capacity to A, imagine a world in which you're not right, and B, want to think someone else might have an answer you don't, which I think is more appealing than anything.
I do like, though, that when you shift between timelines, he has kind of the most, like, shift in emotions. One side of him is very confident, and then the other one, he's, like, mourning and sad and introspective. Like, when they try to push the romance angle, you kind of get it. Like, as long as you're not so head over heels for Amanda. But who isn't?
Bruh. Let me tell you. Team Amanda right here, dog. Where's the t-shirt?
Oh my god. We're getting there.
Let's go.
So after dealing with some Diamond Vin Abraxas drama, Max learns that Vin gave a statement on Maya's death. Here we go. Claiming that she was mentally troubled, only to get a position as Yasmin's secretary. Furthermore, Max learns that Lucas Colmenero is allegedly behind death, and Vin comes clean about the cow skull through the windshield. He also steps down as head of Abraxas, paving the way for Diamond to step up. Max then talks with Lucas, and by doing some sleuthing, she learns that Lucas stole Maya's writing and used it as his own, writing a best-selling novel that garnered him widespread fame. All this while he was acting as a mentor to Maya. Thoughts there, or should I continue?
Yeah, this is the thing that made Lucas outright just, he's a villain now. He's a piece of shit. Because, like,
yeah.
The student, we still don't understand the circumstances in which she died, which I would have loved to get tied off for me. But the fact that, like, so this happened and everyone kind of like just covered it up and like just let it go really irked me. And I was like, you know what? Fuck Lucas. Like, I know you're trying to get your, have a relationship with your kid, but like maybe don't be a fucking plagiarist.
Right. Yeah, it kind of gave him unredeeming qualities across the board at that point. Because he messed up. He led to, he's the most led to this girl taking her own life. And then later on, he shows up to a party with a gun. So,
yeah, bro, what is this man?
Yeah,
like, you think you're a thug? Get out of here.
She leaves his office. Max leaves Lucas's office and bumps into Safi, who seems incredibly frustrated with Max's snooping. Dejectedly, Max heads to the tavern where she is uplifted by Amanda. The two have a makeshift date in their imagination and seal their newfound relationship with a kiss. I assume you did the exact same thing.
Graydon, let me tell you, this is the best scene in the entire game.
It's so good.
The date was cute. The way that they used the inventory system as a meta way to like describe the reality of the date that you're imagining. Oh, that's just perfect. That's such a classic adventure game trope to do. And yes, it ends with a kiss, but like, did you choose the exact same thing of like, y'all get to the moment where you kiss and then you choose to kiss and it's like I want to make sure that you actually like me. So do you actually like me? And then yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You want to talk about, I have my feet kicking up, bro. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was so well written. It was like you were watching like a ABC Family show or something. Like,
well, it's not even that it's like ABC Family. It's just like when I talked about at the beginning of the game where everything felt so like sacred and sweet and like a little too polished. This was like that again, but I wanted it this time. Like I was
Mhm.
ready for it and I was so
You earned
excited.
it.
Yeah, I earned it. And this is why it's such a double-edged sword with bringing Max back, because to have Maxine, the shy little timid girl who is just walking around with this blue-haired girl, kind of like being dragged along, if we're being honest about it.
Yeah.
And she's just very, introverted, all this. To have her all these years later make out with this girl on this couch and be like, you're like, oh, I need to sleep on it in my bed. I was like, yo, this girl is an adult. And I was like so proud. It's weird. It is so weird. I was like so invested. I was like, my girl is a woman now.
Yeah, it did a really good job of making her feel like this was an adult relationship, but
Yeah.
also like I liked it better than weirdly than the chemistry of her and Chloe. Because like looking back
Mm-hmm.
on it, you're like her and Chloe. They're an iconic gaming couple. They for the time, great. I wouldn't change a thing. But like you're an adult now, and like damn it, this is a message like to the fans that were upset. People are allowed to grow. People are allowed to
Mm-hmm.
grow up and find new relationships, and like this is the next level of it. Like
Yeah.
you love Max, you've played as Max, she is your character, and now there's something new for her, and that's
Yeah.
okay, and it's done so well, it's written so well. Like even just the date itself had that, like, I mean, Max Caulfield is a quirky character.
She is.
She's got, silly little things she had. There was some quote I had written down earlier. um what was it? Something about Mothman. Caked up Mothman goaded with the sauce.
Oh yeah. Fuck. I hit that line too. That's
Was
ridiculous.
like, it's a ridiculous line that Max Caulfield would say, and it's like just that is the weird silliness that she is, and Amanda matches her freak, and
Really.
like the to be against that in any way is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that was done really, really well, and watching it like, oh yeah, this is going the way that it should be. And it just felt really good. It felt like a great moment for her, and a great moment for the writing of the game.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And I also want to point out, like, a big criticism that some might have had, probably did have, for that original game is that Max is just, or not Max, Chloe is just like the stereotypical manic pixie dream girl, where here comes this eccentric character who to come into a boring person's life and liven up their life and make it worth living, and they fall in love off of that. This felt like, honestly, that same trope but less extreme,
Yeah.
where Amanda is more adventurous, more manic, more out there, but she's not like an extreme stereotype that like Chloe was,
Mhm.
where it felt like they are a little bit more on each other's level. And also, I really love how Chloe was very much like, I'm just doing it, I'm running straight through, I'm jumping over every bump. Where Amanda is definitely like, I love Amanda's like, oh yeah, so I'm in therapy now, so I'm trying to like have healthy relationships and shit and like be better
Yes.
about my shit. And that's not only like a very adult mature thing to do, but also just so even more endearing. Like to
Yeah.
be aware of your bullshit.
It
That's hot too. Fuck.
it honestly feels like, I mean, now that I'm like trying to really think on how Chloe was, she's punk. Like she was angsty, she was
Hmm.
into the punk stuff. And Amanda feels like the kind of person that was into punk and is now an adult who still appreciates it. Like,
She's Chloe, but if she grew up healthily and
yeah,
not
exactly.
fucking on the road after a storm.
Exactly. It's exactly it. She was able to keep living. Maybe she doesn't have a great relationship with her parents, but she got herself a job. She's on the straight and narrow. She's trying to figure herself out. And that's the perfect thing for
Mhm.
Max, because at the end of the day, she knows how to be silly. They like the same music. There was no real red flags. The only thing was like she didn't know how to commit to you. And it's like, hey, we'll still figure it out, you know? And it was nice that, like, I don't know, you really felt like you were forming a bond with her throughout the game.
Yeah, I just everything they did with Amanda was perfect. God, it
Her
tugged on my
actor was
heartstrings.
really good too. Like, she
Yeah.
was really well acted.
Yeah, a lot of her line deliveries were really well, especially when we get towards the end. Like the entire after the great combination, I'll call it, at the very end, all her interactions were like conflicted in a way that I thought was acted very, very well. And I was like,
Yeah.
man, this is really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh,
shout out to
so
Amanda.
good.
Love you so much.
I'm so glad that we um,
Yeah, and they're old enough now to where I don't feel weird about getting crushes on fake characters.
yeah, about shipping them. Yes, I'm
Yeah,
with you.
it's great.
So then we get to the opposite side of the coin. Max then shifts to the dead world and has a conversation about Safi with Vin. They talk of his past relationship with her and ultimately wind up playing a game of smash or pass. And I hate to say this to you, with the two of them sharing a kiss in the end.
You did that?
I did it, man.
Ah,
I was like,
Brody.
I know, for as much as I want her with Amanda, I was like, you know what? As weird as as he is, I felt like it felt like the kind of thing she would do at that moment. Like, not knowing exactly how to be. I'm in a different timeline. I'm seeing this person in a
To
different
get
light.
pressured into a kiss by a gross dude?
Stop, don't frame it like that. It's different in my head. Oh man. So then you probably got a better ending in a way than I did.
Look, I'll keep it a buck. I did play along with them, but as soon as it got to, well, what do you think about me? I passed hard.
Okay.
I was like, I'll play with you. Like I don't hate him. Once again, I'll be cool with him. But the second you invite me over, I'm over
Mhm.
you.
Jeez. It's yeah, I don't know. It had me feeling conflicted, but I feel like that was good because it just added to the lore of the moment of, like, maybe she's conflicted too. I don't know. I don't know what you would pick here. It's like you're learning about yourself, you know? But
I do respect you for at least exploring that option because I feel like they set that up to just not have that be the option people choose. So I think you were a bit contrarian there.
I forget. I wonder what the numbers were on it. I wish I
I
had the
remember it being
stats.
crazy. I remember it being like 70% who were like Amanda team.
Oh,
So
jeez.
yeah, who
Well,
boy.
hey, if you give me two timelines, I just might play both sides. Who knows? That's the kind of weirdo I am.
If only you had two timelines foreshadowing.
Truth. Hold on. I'm just really briefly looking at little side notes. Blah, 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 blah. Oh yeah, here's a little thing that I'll say. Did you feel with the shifting of the timelines that you would be able to shift your dialogue options? Because in the very beginning, you see like that little, like, there's like that little moon. It's like a circle that fills, and you can
At
kind
the
of tell.
top, the crescent moon that tells you which world
Yeah,
you're in.
yeah, and there's that during the dialogue as well. And I had always wondered if there was going to be like two different sides to the dialogue options and maybe like pull in things from other. I think I just in my mind thought it would be too RPG like and be like, oh, you know, like in Fallout, you can like unlock certain things to say to people. And I think I thought that's how it was gonna go. Am I alone in that thinking?
I ask that question one more time.
Did you think that you would be able to unlock certain dialogue options based on
Based
what
on the
you
timeline.
do? Yes, the timelines.
No, just because I thought that would be a little bit too much. They already don't want to program the transition from timeline to timeline. They're not going to program branching dialogue across timelines between different people.
Okay.
that's kind of where I was on it. And I think that UI element was only there just so you understood, like, just narratively where you were, not necessarily mechanically where you were.
Okay. All right.
Just so you knew the stakes of this world versus that world.
Yes. Yeah. No, ultimately I think that it was handled well and but yeah, for what we're at, just a thought. So, after receiving a text from Moses and learning that Alderman officially never existed in either timeline, she returns home and finds her house has been broken into. Entering it's not called what is it called? The room where she puts pictures in.
Dark
I
room.
forget. The dark room, that's it. She encounters herself. Oh no, Emmett. No. A chase pursues into the woods and onto a lake of ice, and as it begins to break around them, our Max uses some burst of power to strengthen the ice and save them both. She then grabs the imposter Max and watches as they turn back into soft.
Around
Thoughts?
here, right around here, I went through several emotions at once.
Oh, okay.
my
Fair
initial
enough.
my initial thing, first I knew something was up when she went to go grab her and she didn't like dematerialize.
Yeah,
I was
because
like,
we thought, and there was a line there. She's like, "We can't touch each other," like because Alderman.
mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, so she touched her and she didn't dematerialize, so they have to justify that. At first I was like, it's just because they have gloves. It's just the gloves. That's all it is. But it kept going. Then she saved her doppelganger, and I was like, you really could have just let her die. Like, that would have been a loose end tied. Because in my head, I was like, this is your alternate version. This is the alternate reality, Chloe or Max. So, like, hey, I don't have to worry about her running around if she's underwater.
True.
So I was like,
just
all right.
let her die.
So that's what I was kind of like saying, oh, she should have let her die. Then she saved her. And then she showed her powers, and then it was like, oh, we got another one. And I saw that like Max was acting differently, so I was like, something's up, because this Max has gone through an entire different life to have this personality now. So something's up. And then it became Safi, and then I immediately I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like a baffled what? Like a this doesn't make sense what? And then I thought about it, more, and I'm like, well, once again, True Colors already implies, True Colors and Life is Strange 2 already implies that powers are had by more than just Max Caulfield in this world.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense in my head, I thought the twist was going to be, so the twist of this game is there are people running around all over with powers. This is the game where two of them actually know each other and they're interacting. And I was like, all right, that's already been a possibility within the world since the moment they made a sequel. It's cool that they're like in getting into that, and I thought that was really cool. And it was cool for about an episode and a half.
Oh no!
Which the next episode was really cool. The final episode was really cool. Then they get to the end of the final episode, and it's like, oh, this thing that made this one specific time we did that cool. What if we did that for the rest of the series? And I'm like, fuck. So yeah, that's how I felt.
Oh man, yeah, it leaves you questioning things, and I mean, I guess I'll just jump into episode 4. Episode 4 I have very short because it's on the shorter end.
Very short episode.
I'll just kind of fly through. Yeah, I'll just kind of fly through this one synopsis.
When do you get off?
About an hour. But before we do anything else, maybe we should sleep on it?
In my bed?
As much as I'd like that, I'd like to be able to tell my therapist I made good choices this week.
You are a very smart woman. Goddamn.
To be continued. Okay? For now, I have to get back to it.
So Max and Safi have a discussion in her house regarding their respective powers. It seems Safi can transform into anyone she's encountered in life. She's the reason why Lucas is involved in the restraining order situation, and why Gwen got caught dealing drugs to students. She's also shifted into various people throughout our story, making for some awkward interactions. Safi and Max decide to take on Lucas together to expose him for what he did to Maya. Faced with the question, Max tells Safi that she may not be capable of hurting her should the need arise, e.g., the infamous gun photograph. Now, that was a question, that was a choice you could make, and that was how I said that. Did you tell her that you would be able to?
I told her I probably wouldn't be able to.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess it didn't, I can't remember if it, oh no, I guess it does come around. Like, it's not, doesn't really have a super bearing. I mean, you continue to make a choice near the end, but like, it kind of just,
It's not a main choice. It felt like a choice based off of like it colors things later rather than
yes,
changing things later.
that's exactly, yes. That's the, yeah. Later, at the Krampus on Campus event, the plan is sprung. Jumping between timelines, Max uses Moses' help to take control of the projector, and with Vin on board as MC, the girls have everything they need to expose Lucas to the party. After an emotional moment concerning a gingerbread house and a friendship torn by tragedy, Lucas is about to take the stage.
Yep.
Now this was another one of those scenes that was just so beautifully done. And I guess I touched on it earlier, so I don't have a whole lot to say, but just the being able to bring closure to the dead timeline Moses, who, like, you bring him into it by telling him your powers, he helps you through it all, and all the while doesn't understand, like, why any of this has happened. And you can tell that there's, like, some kind of regret in him of, like, he wishes he could do more.
Yeah.
And he's so very, upset that Max is able to go and see their friend again.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
the
it
way,
does seem he's upset that she can do it. He's sad that he can't.
exactly, yes. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he can't be a part of it and keep living that happy life that they had together. And again, drawing on the autistic thing, people on the spectrum can have, like, just enhanced emotional response to things like that, to sadness, to happiness. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that, like, that's very well portrayed in him, of like I said, Max is very careful and gentle with the way that she talks about Safi, sending well wishes to him in the other timeline, and just like that he, oh, it's so good. Like, it's just something that
Very.
I truly can't explain it without really seeing it. And it just culminates their whole friendship in such a
Mm-hmm.
lovely way.
Yeah. A lot of the stuff with Moses and Max is not explicitly said, which I think makes the interactions all the more powerful when they do happen.
Yes. Yeah, it's,
So
and
yeah.
it gives it time to breathe. Like, the way that the music works, and the, just the editing, I guess, of the cinematography of Life is Strange. It's, like, very well done in the patience of these moments, and letting the sadness just kind of dwell for a bit, and it's really cinematic and beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Absolutely.
still got that feeling that Life is Strange is known for, and that just goes further in the column of, like, I wish people liked this, I wish people played it, because it really does deliver on some amazing things when you give this game a chance.
It does, but some things is the
Yes,
problem.
yes, yeah, that's, yeah. So the girls discover that Lucas brought a gun to this party, and in front of the whole crowd, he is humiliated by the evidence of his wrongdoings. Safi even gets on stage and speaks her truth about Maya, which leads to Lucas telling her the real truth in secret. Now, did you let Safi get up there? Intervene.
I not only did I let Safi get up there, I told her to go up there as herself.
Okay,
Which
that's the choice.
Yeah, I didn't know if you had done opposite, so I was like, "Oh shit, did you not even get that choice?"
No, I had her go up as herself because you can tell that like she wanted to hide behind her power, but you're like, no, you go up there and you just be yourself.
Yeah,
Because
say
I
it with your
think
chest.
that's always the best way, right? Is just, especially to get all of the student body on board with hating him. Like, they know you. They want to hear this story. And
Plus, I know I'm not the only one who thinks Vince sucks, so be yourself.
true. Max then watches as the entire student body freaks out around her, speaking angrily as if Safi has taken control of all of them. Max pursues Safi to the lookout, where she is holding Yasmin, her gunpoint. After a tense showdown of emotions and trauma coming to light, Safi freaks out and accidentally shoots her mother. Max grabs on to the rapidly shifting Safi and attempts to jump into a photograph to escape the chaos.
So, what did you choose in that hostage situation? Did you choose to run for Safi or to run to defend Yasmin?
I think I ran to Yasmin because
Okay.
more often than not, I feel like in a game or just a situation. Well, yeah, I guess it's if you're if you're careful, it's only happening in a video game. But if like a gun is pointed at you and you kind of run for it, it doesn't usually end out well. So I figured that I would kind of stand down and protect Yasmin. Is that not what you did?
I wish I did that. I ran for Safi thinking I could honestly, I think I was in the heat of the moment and I was like, all right, let me like bum rush her. But I was like, she's my friend. And like, I'm not that big and intimidating as Max anyway. So what am I doing? But then I tackled her, the gun went off and it still hit Yasmin either way. So I was like, fuck, this didn't, why am I here? Like, this didn't feel good either way.
Yeah.
And now she blames me for kind of getting her mom shot.
Yes.
So yeah, you did the right thing.
It's one of those choices that's a double-edged sword either way, but you just kind of, you live with your consequences, I guess.
I swallow it down all the same.
Yeah. But yeah, as you mentioned, it brings up the photograph thing and like having another like reflecting on the powers of old. And I mean, like the storm has already come up again, and just the concept of Max bringing damnation wherever she goes. Like, it's this weird thing. And I think in the realm of Life is Strange, and like if we continue going further with these games and Max as a character, it could really restructure how the whole world works and how those past games are, with the concept of a story of a storm, and just the effects that she has on the world around her.
Yep.
But it's very weird. I mean, this is where everything's kind of like starting to crumble, and Safi obviously doesn't know how to use her powers, and she thinks she does, but she doesn't have a handle on it. She's getting that, the aforementioned nosebleeds in a way of like, you're doing too much, you're pushing it. And I think Max tries to tell her that, like, you're trying too many things at once and it's not working out. And that's when she starts, I mean, in this final episode, she really starts messing with everyone's lives. So
that is true. Yeah, it feels like, because this is episode 4, it feels like right around here I started to kind of reluctantly accept that, oh, so they're going down the exact same path that they went in the first episode, except you're the third party watching someone else go through that. Which I wasn't very excited about, but then they switched it up, which we'll talk about.
Well, let's talk about it in our final episode.
So, Other Moses is also making a gingerbread house?
Aw, is he?
Yeah, but his chimney broke. Mind if I take yours?
How's he doing? Like, really?
He seems really lonely right now.
Because I'm gone? Moses is the only one I do this for. This was a doozy to make.
Voila. Guess who it's from?
It's for real? From the other side, from Safi. Thank you, Max.
You're welcome.
Waking up in seemingly another universe, Max tracks down Safi yet again by the lookout. A storm is raging nearby, and Safi begs Max to end her suffering as well as the storm. Max refuses to choose again, so she tosses the gun, and the two walk into the storm. Did you think that was weird?
It was a little bit, it was crazy how literal it felt when we had before the storm.
True.
And so now they just walk into the storm. What I liked about it initially was, okay, so the whole thing was we have to run away from the storm. We have to like get away from this impending consequence. And I liked the rhetorical image of just them walking directly into the consequence. That felt very bold and daring. But
yeah.
ultimately what was in that storm,
It gets a little off the rails. It definitely is off.
For certain.
Yeah, I'm just gonna again try to just whoosh through this here because it's a lot of info.
Whoosh
Oh,
on,
shit,
my
I
brother.
almost fucked up my Discord.
Oh,
All
Lord
right.
Jesus.
So they walk into the storm. Max awakens in yet another timeline, losing track of Safi, but hearing her from somewhere beyond. She's transported back to the night of the meteor shower, where she encounters Moses, seemingly trapped in his subconscious. Max learns that by taking a photo with double exposure, said the thing, she can free the minds of those Safi has trapped in their own body. Freeing Moses, she continues on to find Safi and winds up in the bathroom of Blackwood Academy on that fateful day. Fateful day. Max sees herself and Safi in the same situation as, I didn't look up what his name was. The guy that shot Chloe. I just have blanking Chloe.
Nathan Prescott.
Nathan Prescott.
Crazy,
That's
I
it.
had both names in my head just already.
Yes, there you go. And she watches herself shoot Safi, unable to jump in with time-bending power. Kind of interesting, right?
I'm gonna be honest. This felt fan service in a bad way. This
Corny?
felt pandering.
Yeah.
Corny, pandering. I think both are applicable. It's like, hey, remember this location? We're really taking it back, y'all. It's kind of like I've been to 3 Kendrick concerts now, and every time he's like, all right, this for the real fans. We're going way, 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 way back. All right, tell me if you remember this. And it's like swimming pools. And it's like, yeah, this was a decade ago, but like you had like 5 mixtapes before this.
Yeah.
And another whole album before that album. So like, that's what it feels like where, yes, Life is Strange, that's the first game. But it wasn't that long ago. And those images are still like the thing we associate with the franchise. For most of us.
Even the blue butterfly was like part of the flashback, and you're just like, oh, it is a bit heavy-handed.
Yeah, on the nose, and the fact that like you're gonna go back there, but it's just pantomiming the thing we saw with the character models and voices we actually have for this game.
Yeah.
It just felt it felt a little lazy and unnecessary. Honestly, most episode 5 felt this way, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Oh, your facade is starting to crack.
Dude, episode 5 is kind of sorta where everything fell apart. Like I told you, every time they made a weird choice, I sat back and was like, you know what? I want to hear you out. And episode 5 was me hearing them out and realizing that, oh, you're just wrong on half of this shit. Like your heart's in the right place, but you ended up in the wrong place.
Well, going forward, fearing that she may be cursed to live her worst moment over and over again, Max suddenly finds herself in the abandoned bowling alley from the first episode. Here, she's taunted by more sins of the past, including texts from all of her old friends and a reenactment of her kidnapping at the hands of, what was his name?
Fuck. Drake fan.
Mr. Black? Mr.
No. Hold up.
It was something. Blake?
Strange teacher.
I want to say it was Lewis.
I'm looking at Mark Jefferson.
I was so off.
Wow.
Mark Jefferson.
Mr. Black.
Mr. Lewis Black. Oh my god. Well, is it Lewis Black, a comedian?
Yeah, I want to say either he's a comedian or he was a character in a movie played by a comedian. One of the two.
God, I don't want to be kidnapped by him in a bowling alley. But yeah,
I
this was
kidnapped by anyone in a bowling alley, but okay.
This was a weird part. Like, it got very dark. Obviously, this part of the season 1 of Life is Strange is very dark.
Mhm.
But to be brought back there again, I will give it to you, felt like pandering. It was like, why are we doing this whole thing again?
They kind of set it up as like, here's this like really emotionally intense trial that Max has to go through to get out of this situation. And then when it's done, it's like, did she have to go through that? Like, the rules of this mythical in between space are not very clear. So it's like, did she have to go through that emotional trauma just for the ladder to appear for her to climb down? Like, what?
True.
What is going on here? It's just very strange.
Yeah, it was like a labyrinth of trauma that we're just going through, and it was just very heavy-handed again. Like, I don't need to relive that. It was what'd you say? It was like a decade ago. It's not too long ago.
Exactly. Leave that shit in the past.
So, breaking free from this mental prison, she finds and frees Lucas, Reggie, and Vin, who is struggling to find any purpose amidst the realization of two realities. It seems like Safi has brought both realities together and showed them to everyone at the same time, causing nothing but anguish and fear. Was this a weird revelation for you?
I always like it when a story presents, all right, here are the two obvious outcomes, and then they surprise you with their third outcome you didn't really consider. So I like the fact that they did that at all. I like the fact that they're like, oh, you thought it was A or B? Well, fuck it, C.
Yes.
But once again, C, with them having both timelines assimilated into their memories, so technically both things happened, it not only is it intentionally everyone's just confused. Like, literally everyone in the town is like, so like, I vaguely remember this happened, but this, I also have memory of this. So like, it's like, what is the real thing? But I think they're kind of implying that the real thing is both. Like, both things happen, but that's fucked up because I was at the end of that episode, I stopped and listened to a lot of the conversations, and one of the convos was like, oh, I was gonna like get this job offer and I was gonna leave, but I last minute decided to stay. And in each timeline, she didn't take the job offer in one timeline and took it the other timeline. So when everything's pushed together, it's like, so did the job office say, like, do they have a confirmation email of you taking the offer and also another confirmation email of you not taking the offer? Like, how far does that go?
Or was it like the alderman thing and nothing ever happened? The company never existed.
Yeah. See, that's where we get into it, where when you introduce a sci-fi concept like that, you have to give just enough of a hint of like how those questions would be answered. You don't have to sit here and throw the Bible out in our face, but like, give me something to where I can kind of use that to come to conclusions on other shit. This game doesn't do that, and from what I can tell, that might be the problem with Deck 9's development of these games. Where I haven't played True Colors, but True Colors, the power there is just, it's all emotions. So it's all dealing with the part that they're pretty good at, which is the grounded human stories. But
Mhm.
when you have to incorporate like sci-fi rules and like how does the physics of this shit work, that might not be their strong suit. And I want to play True Colors just to see if they can if they can really make a great game when they don't have to worry about any of that shit, which it seems like that is the case because everyone loves True Colors. But yeah, that seems to be the problem. And in some cases, like I said, doing that is kind of cool in some ways because for some of the characters that I'm closest to, the fact that all their memories are in one, like with Amanda, like the fact that she was like, I rejected you, but you managed to find a version of me that still liked you. I'm
Yes.
impressed. I'm like, that's just a crazy cool line. Like that's just great dialogue.
Yeah.
And I love how she's like, you could tell that she's like excited to start a relationship with her, but also feels a little uneasy, like a lack of consent thing happened almost.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, I like you, but I don't like that I didn't like you and you changed my mind against my will.
Mhm.
That's fascinating. But in order for that one moment to be fascinating, you have to complicate this shit for every character at the exact same time.
Exactly.
And I don't know if that's worth it.
You create this big paradox, and with a paradox, you don't. There's always going to be what the hell's going on moments that outweigh the coolness of it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
uh it's crazy, and it just gets crazier. So let me speed on through here. Max heads to the tavern where she finds Amanda as well as an entranced Gwen. In order to save the latter, she must journey through a mental maze. Now, I don't know if you had this happen, but this is what I had.
Yeah.
Confronted by her final memories with Chloe, ultimately leaving her behind and changing her life forever. Did you do this?
When you say your final memories with Chloe, were you interacting with Chloe?
No, but I was going through endless hotel rooms,
Okay. Okay. Same.
and in it there was background conversations of, learning to leave her behind because my Chloe was still alive. So it was like how you were going to be moving on, and what you were going on to do and what she went on to do. Like there was dialogue in the background but no visuals.
See, that's weird because what I had, and this is kind of like another big problem that I had with them bringing back the stuff from the original game. What my Max did was, yeah, Chloe died and the city's still there, but all of that shit was so traumatic for Max that she left Arcadia Bay and was just out on the road doing a bunch of like odd jobs and shit and like photographing for like random people and doing random jobs. So
Okay.
I also had the repeating hotel rooms, but my dialogue in the background was, oh, what was that client? What was the setup for this photo shoot and blah blah blah? What was this? What was that? And just this
Oh.
endless repeating loop of like work and getting caught up in that
So it
and
wasn't
not
really heavy in any way. It didn't
it was heavy because they were kind of implying that like she's throwing herself into this side of things so that she doesn't have to deal with the loss of Chloe and deal with the relationships that she still had access to that were still
Mhm.
in Arcadia Bay because a lot of that stuff would have brought back Chloe into her mind and all this stuff. It just seemed like they framed it as her running away.
Yeah, she had to escape the pain.
Exactly, exactly.
Huh. See, I like that. This is the most different experience that we had. I wondered what would happen, and I mean, it's interesting because at the very beginning, when you talk about the blue-haired girl in your wallet, you
Mhm.
you get the choice basically to make a Bay or Bay choice again because it doesn't know based on a save file what you had done a decade ago.
Yeah.
But then it kind of does, come back around to whatever you did there. It's not super substantial and changes the game, but in terms of Max's lore and where she's at now, I liked that it went back to that a bit. And you didn't need to have the bathroom scene, you didn't need to have the Lewis Black kidnapping segment, but I think that this was like, if you just kept this in, it would be really neat because it's the mental trauma. It's showing the trauma that she went through. and
Mhm.
and I think that was really neat to have that those scenes. So yeah, that was interesting. I'm glad that I heard what you experienced there.
I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I'm glad that you found it interesting how it differed. I did not find that to be a satisfactory way to portray that choice. Like the fact that she ran away from Arcadia Bay and was like just ran away from all that shit. Why? You would
Yeah.
think that's like your support group.
Yeah, and it does. I guess if you choose that way, and if you like, say you chose that back in the day, which I guess you did, right?
Mhm.
And then now you're getting to make the choice again. You're sticking with it. That's your canon, and then they still have to write an excuse for her to come to Caledon and grow up.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it does feel a bit more shoehorned to be
Mhm.
like, oh well, yeah, why would you leave everybody behind? Yeah,
It,
you're able to leave your hometown, sure, but like you
she
didn't
already left her
maintain.
hometown. She left her parents to go to Blackwell.
True. It's like why not maintain those relationships with the people you saved?
Mhm.
Like you had a boyfriend, kind of that boy. I forget what his name was.
Oh, fucking he's not relevant. I didn't like him.
Oh
Well, not
man.
romantically. He was a cool guy, but like, man, I felt bad because I was like, I'm trying to give the manic pixie dream girl.
Yeah, no, you got to stick with your pixie dream girl.
Exactly. But
And then like the girl
yeah,
at the diner, the woman that ran the was that Chloe?
Joyce.
Yeah, Joyce.
Joyce
Like
that's Chloe's mom. Yeah, she texts you throughout this game.
yeah, and like you have a relationship with her, but at the end of the day, you still left.
Yeah,
It's weird.
that's the thing. It felt like they took both choices and flattened them out to whatever would make sense to justify this game.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, you got with Chloe, but y'all break up anyway. Yeah, you chose the Bay, but you leave the city anyway. It's like,
Yeah.
ugh, didn't
Yeah.
love that.
I get that. I get you. It's and hence it's polarizing.
Yep,
Oh,
exactly.
double exposure. You're something else. Making her way through,
Hmm.
Max saves Gwen and finds herself finally in a timeline with Safi again. The two recount the locations and memories of previous episodes, discussing their powers, their regrets, and how they can overcome the challenges life has given them. Safi longs to be rid of this curse, as she refers to it, and hopes everyone at Caledon will forgive her for the trouble she's. They both come to realize that Max is the final person. Now, I think I wrote this right. I think this is correct. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay,
They
try
both
me.
come to realize that Max is the final person trapped, and taking a selfie, she finally rids her mind of Safi's curse and accepts her grief. Am I
It's
right in that?
you're basically right, but I would phrase it as Max. So they have to take the pictures and get Sophie out of all these other characters. But it's like fragments of Safi that is broken and split up into all these other people, and so the last fragment of Safi is located with Max.
It's like her Horcrux.
Kind of, sort of, yeah, yeah. I did not think of that, but yeah, it's absolutely similar to that.
Okay, and so she does a selfie and gets her out of her mind, essentially.
Yes, but I will say for that selfie scene, would have loved it. We got to take everyone else's picture. Just let me take a selfie. Just let me do the action of it.
Yeah.
That would have been really cool, but alas, it's just a cutscene.
I was enjoying taking pictures throughout the game. I thought that was really neat. I don't remember if that was a big part of the original Life is Strange.
They had a camera. You know what? Yeah, you were taking pictures.
Okay. Well, I like doing it again. It was nice to have that option with various things and just take pictures.
Yeah.
I find myself enjoying photo sims in gaming.
I feel that. I'm similar. I feel similarly.
How fun that Annapurna is publishing a photo sim.
Dude, yeah, that
Maybe
I
it'll be good.
I forget what it is. During Day of the Devs, they showed off some game that also had like photography as it. Apparently, it's like a Hitman like, but instead of it being you're setting up elaborate contraptions to kill people, you're setting up things to just like do tasks.
Yes, it's like for like a heist. You're like setting
Yes,
it. Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
I forget what that was called.
It's like it's some clever it's some clever name having to do with the word snap. They talked about in the latest No Clip Crew episode of the podcast, which, by the way, we got someone from No Clip Crew on Players Club this week, so look out for that. But yeah, they talked about it on there. I forget what it was called, but non sequitur.
Yeah, no, I love that, and it was fun gameplay element of double exposure. They return to the timeline in which Yasmin has been shot, and Safi realizes she and Max are a strong, unbeatable team. She longs to work. She longs to work together and stop evil, I guess. She she asks Max if, when she returns, they will stick together. Now here's my choice.
Okay.
Max refuses, believing every power has consequences.
Oh, okay.
Safi leaves and Max returns to help Yasmin.
All right, so I made the same choice.
Okay.
I made the exact same choice because I knew, in the same way where if I got with Chloe, it'd be literally destruction of the world. If I stuck with Safi, she is just self-destructive enough. And part of her self-destructive behavior is kind of what makes Safi a little bit like hot in a toxic way. I was kind of liking Safi because she was like, all right, she's a little bit crazy. She's a little bit feisty. She's a little bit broken. I can get with that. But when it gets right down to it, that is not the future I want for myself. So I did not take that opportunity to extend a hand towards her. Now, I felt bad about that, but then I didn't realize there's another choice you make later on where you can basically tell a different character like, oh, I'm actually just fully done with her shit. And I'm like, ooh. I made that choice thinking that I was just saying simply I didn't accept her offer. Instead, it came off as, no, I'm done with her. I am not friends with her. I'm like, oh wow, I wasn't I wasn't that strict. Like, we're cool. But it's interesting. But yeah, I felt bad when I didn't take that offer, but ultimately I know that's the right decision, quote unquote.
Yeah, it was one of those. I was brought back to decisions like the Clementine and AJ thing, where like you don't get to make choices for him, but your gameplay like decides how he's going to react to situations. And like with Safi, it's like I gotta teach her to live with these consequences. And like if I just say, yeah, buddy, I'll come on back and be freaking Thanos. I'll be your right hand man. Like, what is she learning? What am I really doing? And
Exactly.
like, yeah, maybe we never get a sequel to this, but at least in my head canon, I wanted it to be like, no, we're gonna be ready. We're gonna go after her. Like we're forming the boys and we're gonna take this evil down.
See, what evil? That's the thing that I kept like. She was like, we're gonna get together. We're making a league of extraordinary. And I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, what ultimate evil are you even fucking fighting it?
Yeah, like what are you going against if there's nothing, if you're truly not. Yeah. I mean, you wake up one day, you have powers. Are you just going to try to take over the world? Like, are you going to stop homelessness with your shape-shifting?
I will say, now the more that I think about that scene, the more I think of it less being phrased as like, we need to get together to form a league to fight evil. And more I think she had in her head, like, if you and me have powers, there have to be others of us out there. So we should go out there and like find them and like support them and show them what's up. Like, do you know how when I say, do you know how powerful we could be together rather than apart? Less of like doing it for a certain goal and more so of just like, it was hard going through this shit alone. It won't be hard for all of us to go through it together.
Yes.
That's kind of what I think it was. And that's a noble thing. But at the same time, like, I'm not Woody in Toy Story 4. I'm not trying to be a missionary.
You're not Professor X getting together a group of people.
Yeah, my legs work. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Yeah, it's definitely weird for the future of the series, but let's get to the final ending here. So a few days later, Max is seen back at Caledon alongside the entire student and faculty body. The timeline has merged to a combined one, where everyone has memories of parallel events with no memory of how they received them. Max receives a call from Yasmin, wherein she learns that the headmaster has been forced to resign, and Safi is really MIA. She heads to the tavern, where she's met with a mixed group of supporting characters based on the relationships the player made. They band together while Max delivers a spirited speech, one in which she vows to find Safi and be ready for whatever consequences may come with her. So, who's in your boys?
Who did I recruit?
Who'd you recruit?
I'll say, look, I made peace with everyone and I was cool with everybody. I'll say Diamond was the one that no matter what I said to her, because I actually went back because I didn't feel good about the answer I gave Diamond. Seemed like she was unsatisfied with both answers. Where I tried to be like, I think she said like, oh, now that I know this shit can happen, how do you not freak out? And I was like, well, you already lived through it once, you'll live through it again.
Yes.
And that's the one I ended on, but she still seemed a little bit unenthused about it. The one I did before that was like, if you think this is random, everything in life is random. You can get hit by a car tomorrow. And she was really like, I think she literally had the same animation and the same dialogue response. But the way that it ended with like, you can get hit by a car, everything's random. I was like, I don't like that. I don't like that I said that.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah. So Diamond, I think I don't know if I got her on my team, quote unquote, but I made up with everyone else. And plus it seems like Vin and not Ricky, what's his name?
Reggie.
Yeah. Vin and Reggie, they seemed all right they seemed buddy in a way that it was like, and even the dialogue that Max was like, yeah, they could be a cute couple. I'm like, all right, they got something there.
So I think they have either a past in that they've been together, or Reggie just likes Vin. There definitely is a gay thing going on.
I think it's that Reggie likes Vin. I feel like I've read some social media posts that hinted towards that.
Okay.
So that also,
and I think we got the same Amanda thing. It sounds like it was more hopeful, but I don't think there's ever any ending where she's like, yeah, I'll date you. Like, she's always like, the best thing you can hope for is that she'll say, listen, give me time, but we can probably make this work someday. Like, that's what you got, right?
Yeah, that's what it was, where she just needed time, which was very in line with her very therapy adjacent character up to that.
Yes, very well, and like we said, well acted, well, it was just a really good performance that felt real and like something someone would really say.
Absolutely. I loved her so much, still love her.
Very great. But then
if she's real, I'm gonna find her.
Oh my god.
That sounded so threatening. Oh god.
My biggest qualm with Amanda was the way she stood. Did you ever notice she always had the
with
same...
the little, like, she's resting on her hip thing?
Yeah, her hand on her hip.
I thought it was cute.
Oh my god.
I'm telling you, they wrote Amanda for me. Maybe I'm just vulnerable right now.
I'm going through some stuff. Oh my god.
I'm working through it.
But then we get to our final hero, and I think because of our choice, neither of us had Gwen at the end, correct?
Wait. Oh, yeah, neither of us did. And that was like one of my biggest regrets, where it seems like there was 3 choices you could make with Gwen. Make it to where there's 2 choices where she gets kicked out of the school. You can make it she gets kicked out of the school and she hates you, or she gets kicked out of the school but you're like an ally for her, or she fights it and she's still with the school. Yes,
and the way that it ended with me, I think she ended up writing to me or something, and she said that she, her and her wife went on their way, and like they were living their best life, and I was like, hell yeah, queen, like you guys get it.
And she texted me the Winnebago thing.
Yes,
Winnebago.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yep, the Winnebago thing. And then I looked it up, and I saw that if you took that goddamn evidence out of the trash can...
No!
Yes.
Fuck!
If we thought we were doing the right thing, Emmett. If you took it out, they somehow saved the flash drive that was on fire. They used the evidence to keep her job, and she's there at the tavern at the end.
God damn it.
Yep, that one freaking thing we did wrong.
Fuck me,
And
dude.
and I will never live with myself. Like, because Gwen was such a strong character.
I love
like
her.
the best arc of any character in this game, and I and she's not in my boys.
The only when Vin was doing the fuck
Yeah, the
Mary
smasher
kill,
pass.
yeah, the smasher pass thing, the only character that I admitted I would smash was Gwen. That was it. So I am so upset that like I had a chance to just have her around.
Oh, jeez.
God damn.
Well, I also didn't have Reggie because I kissed Vin, so that screwed me up. But that's fine. I don't need him. Actually, did I not have Vin? No, I think I had Vin.
You definitely had Vin if you kissed him.
Yeah, but he was upset, and Amanda was upset too. But
They were
wasn't.
both upset.
I think it was just an added thing to when she said like you found a timeline where I liked you and then you still kissed someone else in front of me. Like there was some other added line,
Okay, yeah.
and it wasn't like super bad. It still ended on a hopeful note because I think the date is really the crux of that. If you go on the date with her, but because all the while I was trying to show her, like it pissed me off from the very beginning that she turned me down and she was like, I need time,
It upset me, but I was like, I get it, girl.
And and then it was like, okay, so every choice that I make, I'm going to try to get her to like me. And then when the date happened, it was like, all right, we secured it. And then I had to look it up after and be like, okay, good. There's no timeline where she's like, we're an item. It always ends with a hopeful note, which
You're always
makes
losing
me
the girl.
Yeah, you're always losing the girl.
I relate.
Thus is the way of Life is Strange.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's how that ends, and then it says I think there it says Max Caulfield will return.
Well, first you get the credit scene, the after credit scene.
Oh,
and
true.
Then it's
Okay.
Max Caulfield will return.
Yep, I just read it. It says it, yep. So after the credits, here we go. An Avengers-like stinger shows Diamond sitting at the lookout, dealing with an aggressive nosebleed. Safi approaches from the shadows, telling her she has, quote, seen nosebleeds like that before. I can't say it with a straight face. It's so fucking stupid. And that if she chooses to accompany Safi, she can provide answers. The screen fades to black, and we are told that Max Caulfield will return. But do we really believe that?
That was the single biggest groan I had the entire game.
Wow.
The whole game was
will
fine.
Return or the stinger itself?
Yes. the just everything about that, it being MCU coded, it being like leading up to like some I'm building a team ass twist at the very end. Like, so now you're telling me Safi is the fucking Nick Fury of the Life is Strange universe?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell are we talking about? And the way that I ended it, right there at the end when I'm talking to Moises, and Moises is like, you think Safi's gonna figure out her shit? I meant to say, I hope she figures out her shit and she comes back and she's better. But I instead accidentally ended up saying, I hope she figures out her shit, but I'm done with her. And I was like, oh, fuck. That felt way too harsh for little Miss Hopeful Max. And so to have her come in and have that twist, I'm like, is Safi going to be like, is this her Thanos moment? Where this is her building like her team of evil people? Like, it's just, and if that's the case, don't take my beautiful Diamond.
Yeah, right?
And
why
we haven't
have
even
to be bad.
Exactly. And we haven't even talked about like, you know who Diamond's love interest was, right?
I guess not.
Ooh.
So was it Moses?
If you look at like, I think there's like some assignment she wrote or some letters that she left out. You can read her letters and she's like expressing love to one of her teachers. And then towards the end of the game, she's playing like a Dungeons and Dragons fake game with Moises. and is like being very patient. Everybody's like, they're really hitting it off. Oh, look at them, look at them. And I'm like, oh, she likes Moises.
Okay.
And so that when I said earlier, okay, some of the lines are blurred between like student and teacher love relations. That
Mhm.
is what I was thinking of, because I think that couple is like very cute, but I'm also like, power dynamics. What are they?
What are we getting at here?
Exactly. It's a little, yeah, but it's cute. They're fictional, so I can say it.
Right. Well, I really want to believe that more will come of this and that something will happen, but like it sucks that I fell in love with it fell in love with it. It sucks that I enjoyed the game um after, the revolution of everyone hating the game because I really don't think we'll see more. And
Really?
I I feel weird about that.
You think this is the final Life is Strange game, sincerely?
I I don't know, man.
I feel like this isn't I feel like this game's quality it is polarizing. It's not awful, it's polarizing. Like
Yes.
there are things to love, and I think the true fans. I think the fans, let me not differentiate. I think the fans see the things that there are to love, and they're upset about the things that are there that they don't love. I think that whole MCU style thing at the end, it feels more like a thing that Square Enix might have mandated more than Deck 9. Now, I can't speak for Deck 9. Of course, they're coming into a franchise that they did not own, and they've already been they've already been contracted. Well, contract is not the word. They're already making 2 extra sequels to this series that they took out of the hands of the other developers after they've left. So it's their franchise now. It's theirs to do what they want with it. But
Mhm.
that little tease felt so like that felt corporate in a way that just did not feel very good. And so I think there will be another Life is Strange game, but what I hope it is, I don't want to see Max Caulfield again for a while. If you're gonna do MCU,
Ah.
if you're gonna do MCU and Max Caulfield is Captain America, it better be a couple years before the next Captain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what if you did a game where you play as Diamond?
See, I'd be down for that, because just let me play as a black woman in any game, but this series especially, I think would be great for it. Um, I think there's a lot of different. Honestly, what I want is just give me another True Colors style thing, or even a Life is Strange 2 style thing, where give me completely different story, completely different characters, nothing is related until some episode 4 or 5 twist where, hey, what either an element that's been here the entire time is here because of a familiar character, or you've tied up everything in your story and then suddenly there's an extra complication because of a familiar character from a previous. Give me that, because
Hmm.
I don't want to immediately engage with the ramifications of the ending of this game. Let that come up down the line, because I'd like a break from it, because it left a bad taste in my mouth, and to keep going on that path, I don't think is the best foot forward. Give me something new, because that's what's exciting people about this franchise, is that it is something new every time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that that would be really neat and just a cool way to explore. You could go further into the Safi stuff. You could kind of see, maybe even see the world of like using the powers for not the best way, like kind of get like a darker story of like, oh, what is it like to be, if Safi's going complete bad guy, and then maybe come on back to Max and like try to make things better. I don't know, but like you need to put some kind of thought into it, and
I
that's my worry: is will they be given the patience to really try?
Yeah, because I will say it was a fairly quick turnaround between True Colors and this game. It was like, what, 3
Mhm.
years? Which isn't that is fairly quick in the day of modern AAA development, though I understand these are closer to AA titles. But I I don't know if they're gonna be given the time to really think and expand on a new original twist on things. I do think a cool way they could go is all these games. I haven't played Life is Strange 2, so you're gonna have to tell me if that game hits. But a lot of these games, the people who have powers are generally good people. Like True Colors, good empathetic person. Max Caulfield, good empathetic person. Give me someone who's a bit of a bastard. Give me someone who's a bit of like, I'm gonna use these powers for selfish reasons and or destructive reasons. I'd like to just see what that could be.
I will say Life is Strange 2 toes the line. Because Life is Strange 2's whole thing actually very similarly to that. That's what I was trying to get at. When I mentioned Clem and AJ, I meant it's more similar to Life is Strange 2. Whereas you play a character without powers, but your brother has the powers.
Oh, fuck. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's like the choices you make, the way that you interact with the people around, he's your kid brother. You shape him as an older brother, but also, is he gonna freak out on that person and snap their neck? I don't know. It's
Wow.
like it's very, it does toe that line. And yeah, I love Life is Strange 2. A lot of people did not like it because it went totally different, but as its own game that's really not connected very much at all to the original, it tries. And that's what I want from a Double Exposure follow-up. I want them to say, let's give it time, let's try something fresh, let's not have to do the Skywalker thing and connect it, and just like it is a world where people with powers exist. Boom. Like just have it be that. And it could be awesome.
Yeah, I think it's way more interesting if you're not trying to organize the people with powers into like different groups and whatever.
Yeah.
Just let it be random people interacting with people, and some of them are a little spicy. That's all.
Yeah.
I think just come in here with something interesting, come in here without, when you say do something fresh, I think that's why I want them to not immediately follow up on the promise of this ending, because to do so would be the most stereotypical expected thing. No matter where you go after that direction, you're already within a box. So yeah, just find a completely different shape and go with that shape instead of the fucking square that we have in front of us.
Beautiful. What a beautiful way to say it.
Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, I looking at the rest of my notes, I wanted to say, like, I had one more con, which was the fact that I felt that the audio balancing of this game is so out of left field, but I just wanted to touch upon it. The
Fair.
audio balancing was awful. I don't know if you saw this. What did you play it on?
PS5. I had it. I got it on disc actually.
Okay. Oh wow.
Yeah, it was cheaper.
No, smart. I played it on Series X. I think did I rent it? I might have rented it. But it was awful. Like everything, things were loud when they needed to be, things were muffled when they didn't need to be.
I did notice that a little bit, yeah.
I didn't know if it was like my copy or my TV or if it was just the game itself, but it was wacky. And then my last thing was, did you collect the Polaroids that were?
I collected some of them, not all of them.
Did you get the idea? And I never did watch like a video of all of them, but did you get the idea that there was a third timeline going on?
No, like all those memories were potentially from a third timeline somewhere out there.
Yes, I think that's what they were going with.
I did not pick up that at all. In my head, I was thinking you take a picture and the audio you heard was of like Max's memory of taking that picture or of that picture being taken. Actually, hold the fuck up. Because not all of the pictures you took were ones that Max took.
No.
And so hearing those memories were from different people. Okay, that's too much. That might be too much.
They were like, it's like they were left by various people around the school. I even think some of them had Chloe's voice in them.
Yes,
like,
one of them specifically, I remember.
Yeah, I think they were another, because at some point Max says something like, I didn't take these, or this didn't happen. And I think it's a third timeline, but I didn't look into it much, and I queued up earlier and never watched it. It's like a 10-minute video of somebody put all the Polaroids in one video. So like I'll look into it, but I just didn't know if you had done the same and had a theory, but it'll be interesting to see what that was about.
I did not have a theory. If they already don't do the sci-fi shit well. So third timeline, buddy.
I don't need it.
Not at all.
But to cap this off, the spoiler cast, what would you give this as a grade?
I'm gonna go with the same grade I gave it on my little letterbox bulleted point review because I was saving my main thoughts for this podcast. Like a 7 out of 10. Where it's not outright bad. I would say this is a good game. Like it's well made. It looks beautiful. We didn't talk a lot about like the color grading and the animations, and a lot of performances are really good too. Like it is solidly made, but they just make a couple mistakes, or not even mistakes, but like creative choices here or there that I don't mesh with, I don't love, but the stuff that they do get right are just exactly what I want from this type of franchise. And so, yeah, it just clashes too much in the middle. And because it ends on a deliberately unsatisfying note, it just leaves you with a bad taste in your mouth, but you still think back to how good the meal was up until dessert came out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. I think it has its faults. It definitely goes into territory like the sci-fi thing that it doesn't know where it wants to go. It's got its paradox things that like just kind of leave you like, why do we go here? But it delivers on, gripping plot twists. You said the animations I thought looked really nice. And the acting was pretty stellar all across the board. The character work was incredible. I loved every character in the game. And yeah, it made me excited for more of this world, and I hope that we get it.
Yeah, I think we will get it. It's just I hope that they zag instead of zig.
Yes. Yes,
'Cause
yes.
I'm good on zigging after all that. I don't want another Zig cinematic universe.
Oh no, not a Ziggy cinematic universe.
Yeah, man. I already saw One Love in theater. Oh boy.
Yeah, I guess I'll cap it there. I had initially wanted to go on some big tangent because when I was, we were talking about like the queer representation in this game and stuff, and just the idea of, queer representation in Life is Strange in general, and it being such a big part of the franchise. And like, I wanted to go on some tirade about how irritated I am with, the state of the world and the state of the country and all of these issues and things. And I'm not going to, because it's 2:30, but I will say 2:30 in the morning. But I will say I wanted to get this out during Pride Month. I thought that would be, I thought it would be a good time to talk about it. And I, in general, am happy that there, was a Pride Month, that like things continued to try to be prideful in a way throughout this month, as hard as it was fighting against the shit going on in the world. But yeah, I'm just happy that games like this exist, franchises like this exist for people to feel seen. And and big ups to, your Don't Nods, your Deck Nines, and other queer developers that we try to uphold here and put spotlights on, because it's tough out there. And so yeah, that's my little message, I guess, to stay strong and support indie developers, because I mean, especially with like Blue Sky, I mean, I think we've talked about it before, but
Yeah.
I've like found a ton of just indie devs trying to make it in the world. And
Yeah.
yeah, no,
It's
go ahead.
I'll say I agree with you fully on Blue Sky. It's opened my eyes up to like a lot of devs, like the developer of Into the Unwell that got revealed at Summer Games Fest. I just saw a GIF of that game the other day, and I was like, "Ooh, let me go follow the developer real quick." And they already followed me, and I'm like, "Is that how rabid this community is? We're already like kind of intermingled." But yeah, as far as like the queer community and everything, look, queer Pride Month will happen as long as there is a Pride community who wants to celebrate during that month. I don't
Mhm.
think of yes, corporate sponsors and whatnot take advantage of Pride Month to sell you a rainbow colored whatever, or in the case of places like Target, a beige colored whatever with a slight rainbow flag in the corner. So like, that's always gonna happen as long as it's on an official calendar somewhere. But like as long as there's gay people who want to turn up, there will be a time to turn up. And so
Hell yeah.
as long as we have art like Life is Strange that can celebrate that even to a small degree, and the indie scene celebrates that even more outside of the AA development, um that community is always going to thrive. They've always survived through all of history that they've been subjugated. I like to think, look, as a black man, I can't say I'm part of the queer community, but kindred spirits, I like to think. So yeah, respect on my side towards them. And yeah, I'll be here supporting. I'll be here playing your art. I'll be here donating to your GoFundMe's and shit. Like I be trying to be out here. So I'll continue to do so. Even if some of the art that gets made involving your community is not the greatest thing, but I'll sit here and I'll sit here and talk about it for 2 hours because I care.
I thought you were gonna go down the alley of like the Street Fighter swimsuit DLCs.
That's not look, I don't know if any of the characters I'm excited to see in these swimsuits are actually part of that community, but that's just a horny community. That's all that is. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay,
Shoot.
everything's the Venn diagram with middle those
Yeah.
communities.
If you're listening to this podcast and you look like Kimberly, please hit me up on Blue Sky.
Oh my god, or Amanda.
That
If
too.
you're-
Cammy also.
If you're out there.
Who's okay, damn it. Who's the one with the short hair that looks like she's not Brazilian. I'm gonna look
In
this
Street
up.
Fighter?
Yeah, hold up. I'm gonna get it right
I
here.
don't know anyone from that game. It's Chun-Li. I know Chun-Li.
I mean, if you look like Chun-Li, you can. My DMs are also open, but I'm gonna figure this out. She's right here in this picture. I just gotta see what her name is. No, I said Cammy. Yeah, Cammy. Manon is who I was thinking of. Was Cammy's name, but Manon also. Manon is the one who uses her feet all the time.
Oh my god.
And that
We
look,
don't gotta go down that one.
I'm not. Look, I don't have a house on that road, but I be driving down there sometimes.
Oh my god. Happy Pride Month. Good lord.
I mean, the freaks come out at night, and it is 2:30. So let's wrap it up.
It's 2:30. I thank you for coming on this ride with me. We've been wanting to do this for a while, and it's lovely to have finally done it. I think we got some great opinions out there.
Indeed. Yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed it as well. And I mean, if you listen to this whole thing, you haven't played the game, I'm sorry for you, but these games are good. They're worth trying.
This spoiler cast was as long as episode 2.
Damn.
It's like 4 hours.
That's insane. I definitely just unplugged something with my foot just now. I'm going to figure that out probably tomorrow. I'm going to bed after this.
Oh, nice. It can wait.
Indeed.
But yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing, being a part of things. The Indie Book Club will continue shortly with Bastion. Like I said, please go and play it. It's actually a really friggin' fun game, and we're having a fun time talking about it. So can't believe I waited. I slept on this game for like over a decade. But I'm not new to Supergiant games. Supergiant? Yes.
Yep, Supergiant. That's the only game of theirs I've played to this day.
Oh, wow. Well, I played Transistor. I played a lot of Pyre. I thought you played Hades.
I played a little bit of Hades, but I didn't beat it. I'm nowhere near beating it. I'm like an hour or two in.
Oh, jeez. Well,
Yeah, so one of
don't
these
go and
days.
play it on Netflix because that freaking game is gone soon.
I own that game on like 3 platforms.
Okay,
Relax.
good. But yeah, if you're interested in hearing our thoughts on Bastion, please subscribe, follow the podcast feed, and check out all of our links and whatnot. Our YouTube is popping off, and it's all thanks to you. So yeah, thank you for listening, and we will see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Toodles.